Chapter 929 All Rules of the Great Tao Origin from Chaos. Please subscribe. Crack crack. Following the appearance of the first crack. On the surface of the immense egg, a second and third crack continuously appeared. Each crack quickly spread, expanded, and split. In an instant, the mighty egg, spawned from myriad rules, was covered in cracks. Chaos. At this moment, Lin Yuan's true body primordial spirit and all his avatars finally completely merged all the rules they comprehended. For 1,000 years, Lin Yuan had comprehended more and more rules, and many of these rules had already begun to fuse, and now they completely merged together. Boom! The cracked mighty egg silently collapsed, giving birth to a new rule overarching myriad rules, spawned from them. This is chaos. Chaos rule. I've finally comprehended the chaos rule. Lin Yuan opened his eyes. In the moment the chaos rule was born, Lin Yuan's all avatars and both primordial spirits mastered it instantly. Is this the chaos rule? Everything in Lin Yuan's view became simple. If the space-time rule is the foundation of all things and the movement of the world and the influence of rules cannot be separated from space-time rule, then the chaos rule is everything of all things. From space-time rule to the basic rules of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, all stem from the chaos rule. All Grand Tao rules originate from chaos. My mind, will, my soul, my body, everything about me is getting stronger. After giving birth to the chaos rule, Lin Yuan felt everything about him transforming dramatically. In fact, it is very hard to advance further when one has reached the height like Lin Yuan. It's nearly impossible to experience a surge in strength unless one crosses a major boundary. 1,000 years ago and 1,000 years later, the latter Lin Yuan comprehended several million pillar-level fusion rules more than the former, but the strength difference between the two periods of Lin Yuan was not significant. Several million pillar-level fusion rules, although numerous, seemed like loose soil. Hard to form a unified power. But now, as the chaos rule was born, several million rules on the other shore quickly combined, forming a razor-sharp, indestructible blade. 40 million points of mind will. Lin Yuan slightly sensed and confirmed that his mind will had reached 40 million points. You should know, the enhancement of mind awareness is not like the enhancement of the physical soul. Even immersed in the origin core of the immortal realm for 1,000 years, Lin Yuan only managed to increase it by tens of thousands of points. But now, just as the chaos rule was born, the mind will index has exceeded 40 million points, and it hasn't stopped yet. The mind will is still elevating. My perception of space and time is also rapidly improving. Lin Yuan's gaze vaguely pierced through infinite spacetime, where previously he could only sense the spacetime range the size of a few dozen immortal realms. Now this range is rapidly approaching the size of 100 immortal realms, moving towards 200 immortal realms, 300 immortal realms. The world within the body. Lin Yuan looked at the world inside his own body, the true Bodhis internal world spanning 2.3 billion miles. Not like the main universe which experienced a breakthrough from the 10th to the 11th layer due to chaos void origin infusion. The normal size of the internal world is this range. This is still based on the transformation enhancement caused by the mysterious gourd, otherwise the maximum limit would just be 10 million square miles. But at this moment, with the birth of the chaos rule, the internal world also began to crazily expand. 10 billion square miles, 100 billion square miles, 1 trillion square miles. The river of time? Lin Yuan looked towards the river of time in the immortal realm. Whether in the main universe or the immortal realm, Lin Yuan was always suppressed by the river of time. To break free from this suppression, the only way is the ultimate leap, charging to the 12th layer. Even though the martial Tao evolutionary path spread among infinite beings, the suppression from the river of time on Lin Yuan was at most just slightly alleviated. But now, Lin Yuan clearly felt that the suppression from the river of time on him had greatly decreased. With the decrease in the suppression from the river of time, when Lin Yuan makes the ultimate leap, the backlash he faces from the time river would also decrease. This is also why comprehending the chaos rule at the 11th layer significantly increases the odds of successfully advancing to the ultimate 12th layer. Of course, this is just theoretical. Those who have comprehended the chaos rule are no longer at the 11th layer. The so-called comprehending chaos rule at the 11th layer is merely based on the principle that chaos derives everything. In essence, the time river stems from the combination of time and space. Space-time can suppress all life but cannot suppress chaos. As long as one comprehends the chaos rule, even if it's just the first realm of the chaos rule, it can greatly negate the suppression and backlash of the time river. Chaos rule is the threshold for the dominion realm to step into the chaos realm. To become a powerful entity in the chaos realm, one must comprehend the chaos rule. Lin Yuan silently thought to himself. The 12th layer is divided into 3 levels: Dao initiation, dominion, and chaos. 12th layer chaos realm could traverse the chaos void. Entities like Xianhuang are peak forces in the chaos realm. Of course, Xianhuang and the Moyu Tower Master are such. With my current strength, should I be able to confront beings like the ancestor of the immortal realm head-on? Lin Yuan secretly thought. Before comprehending the chaos rule, aided by the space-time 7th realm, Lin Yuan could only manage to survive in front of the ancestor of the immortal path. Given the 12th layer ultimate foundation of the ancestor of the immortal path, even standing still and letting Lin Yuan attack, it would probably be hard to break through his defense. Chapter 930 All Rules of the Great Tao Origin from Chaos. Please subscribe. _2 But now, the chaos rule has condensed all the rules that Lin Yuan has comprehended into one. Even though his life essence has not yet stepped into the 12th layer, in terms of frontal combat power, Lin Yuan can certainly be regarded as at the ultimate level of the 12th layer. This is still only the true body of Lin Yuan in the immortal realm. The true body in the immortal realm is, after all, just a temporary vessel for Lin Yuan. In terms of foundational accumulation, it is far inferior to the true self in the main universe. The true self in the main universe has a foundation that endured the chaos void origin infusion when breaking through to the 11th layer. However, most of these foundations, due to Lin Yuan's life level not meeting the standard, are submerged deep within his inner world. However, since Lin Yuan has nurtured the chaos rule, even though his life level remains unchanged, his absorption of the chaos void origin will certainly increase significantly. It can be anticipated that once Lin Yuan returns, the strength of his true self in the main universe will definitely improve by a greater margin than his current true self in the immortal realm. At that time, even if the ultimate beings at the 12th layer in the main universe are somewhat stronger than the ancestor of the immortal path, Lin Yuan will still be able to contend or even suppress them. The ultimate beings of the 12th layer in the main universe compete with each other, coupled with numerous inherited treasures from beyond the universe and the infusion of the chaos void origin during the ultimate leap. Their average strength far exceeds that of the ancestor of the immortal path. Do I feel like I am going to be forced to take the ultimate leap at any moment? Lin Yuan let out a sigh of relief. His foundational accumulation is now so strong that even the river of time seems almost unable to restrain him. Hang in there, hang in there. Lin Yuan steeled his spirit. The ultimate leap must take place in the main universe. After all, taking the ultimate leap in the main universe allows one to receive the chaos void origin infusion, something that is not available in the immortal realm. This is also one of the reasons why the strength of the ancestor of the immortal path is not as great as the ultimate beings of the 12th layer in the main universe. Lin Yuan is not sure whether, after making the ultimate leap in the immortal realm, returning to the main universe's chaos void would result in another round of origin infusion. But to be on the safe side, it's better to return and then attempt to ascend to the 12th layer. Chaos rule? Lin Yuan's thoughts converged as he began to become familiar with this entirely new force, or rather, rule. As Lin Yuan continuously operated the chaos rule and came into collision with the countless rules of the immortal realm, the entire operation of rules in the immortal realm began to tremble incessantly. In the primordial lands, Dao Ancestor Continent, the ancestor of the immortal path was in secluded cultivation, and even after stepping into the 12th layer, he still needed to comprehend many rules. Suddenly, the ancestor of the immortal path abruptly opened his eyes, revealing a trace of shock on his face. Why do I feel that all the rule fluctuations are trembling? The ancestor of the immortal path couldn't believe it. The fluctuations of the rules are orderly and stable. It is the perfect combination of countless rules that allows the world to function completely. Especially in the eyes of a 12th layer being like the ancestor of the immortal path, rule fluctuations seem to have their own life. But at this moment, the ancestor of the immortal path clearly perceived that all the rule fluctuations in the primordial lands, to be precise, all the rule fluctuations in the immortal realm, were beginning to become disorderly and chaotic. It was as if a formerly tranquil pond, where every stream of water was stable, now had a colossal being twisting deep within, causing undercurrents in the placid pond. However, the operation of the world covered by myriad rules already forms a perfect balance. It is not something you can disturb just because you want to, even for someone as powerful as the ancestor of the immortal path. Channeling his own way only allows him to affect the stability of the rules within a certain range. The current widespread chaos of rules throughout the immortal realm was causing some panic in the ancestor of the immortal path. What could be the reason? The ancestor of the immortal path scanned the entire primordial lands as well the 33 domains of the immortal domain. Even far off in the demon abyss, the ancestor of the demon abyss was similarly scrutinizing the vast demon abyss. Is it the ancestor of martial arts? After observing for a long time, the ancestor of the immortal path finally turned his gaze toward the core of the origin of the immortal realm, where the consciousness of the immortal realm resides. That is also where the ancestor of martial arts entered 1,000 years ago. The ancestor of the immortal path was uncertain what exactly was causing the current chaos of rules. But it was definitely not related to him. In the immortal realm and demon abyss, aside from himself, the only one capable of causing such an outcome is the unreachable ancestor of martial arts. Just what has the ancestor of martial arts done to bring about this situation? The ancestor of the immortal path felt waves of tumult in his heart. He could sense the trembling and fear of the primordial lands and the myriad rules of the immortal realm. Has there been a breakthrough, stepping into the ancestral realm? The ancestor of the immortal path speculated in his mind, but then shook his head. He was himself at the ancestral realm and knew what kind of impact stepping into the ancestral realm would cause. Although it was immense and unimaginable, it was definitely not what was happening now. And up until now, the ancestor of the immortal path had not sensed any life breaking free from the shackles of the river of time, which meant that the ancestor of martial arts had not yet stepped into the ancestral realm. The operation of the chaos rule was first felt by the ancestor of the immortal path. It was then perceived by many golden immortals and jade immortals of the 33 domains of the immortal domain. Golden immortals, having penetrated the space rules, had a certain degree of sensitivity to space-time, and even more so for jade immortals. In comparison, the immortals below the golden immortals and the many mortals felt a less evident sensation. What on earth is happening? Why are the space rules beginning to destabilize? I'm feeling it too. Many fundamental rules are the same. In the 33 domains of the immortal domain, golden immortals and jade immortals looked fearful. The ancestor of the immortal path had already transcended his own Tao. External changes in rules would not have much impact on him. His foundation was eternally solid, which is the essence of the path-splitting realm. But what about the golden immortals and jade immortals? They are still at the stage of sensing many rules, heavily reliant on external rules. Even a slight disturbance could affect their foundations. Is it because of the ancestor of the immortal path? The ancestor of the demon abyss? Or the ancestor of martial arts? I think it must be the ancestor of martial arts. Indeed, before the ancestor of martial arts was revealed, billions of years passed without witnessing what has happened today. The ancestor of martial arts? Is this the doing of the ancestor of martial arts? The many golden and jade immortals were trembling with fear, not fools to have cultivated to their level, and had faintly speculated that all this might have something to do with the ancestor of martial arts. Of course. Even so, not a single golden or jade immortal dared to go to the martial city to inquire with the disciples of the ancestor of martial arts. What a joke! The ancestor of martial arts was able to cause a disturbance across the entire immortal realm, and even the ancestor of the immortal path and the ancestor of the demon abyss did not make any move, let alone these golden and jade immortals. Going to question them would be seeking death, wasn't it? Did they think they had lived too long? Almost enough. After Lin Yuan familiarized himself with the chaos rule, he gradually ceased. Lin Yuan saw the impact of the chaos rule on the myriad rules of the immortal realm. As the origin rule that reigns supreme above all else, the chaos rule naturally suppresses other rules. Even the space-time rule is no exception. The core of the origin of the immortal realm. Lin Yuan's gaze shifted, looking towards the immortal consciousness hiding in the corner. 1,000 years ago, when Lin Yuan entered here, he discovered the immortal consciousness as if facing a formidable enemy. However, he had always been too lazy to deal with it, focusing instead on comprehending the myriad of rules here. Seeing that Lin Yuan did not overreact, the immortal consciousness gradually let go of its guard and positioned itself beside Lin Yuan, dividing the core area in two. Ever since Lin Yuan had nurtured the chaos rule and actively released its origin rule aura, gently stimulating it to operate, the immortal consciousness immediately scurried like a mouse seeing a cat, without hesitation hiding in the furthest corner, trembling. This greatly surprised Lin Yuan. Although the immortal consciousness could not use the power of the immortal realm in this core area, Lin Yuan could still feel that the immortal consciousness had means to protect itself. 1,000 years ago, the immortal consciousness compromised and let Lin Yuan involuntarily. Besides the fact that Lin Yuan's threat was truly effective, the immortal consciousness itself had other cards up its sleeve. At least it was not completely defenseless against Lin Yuan. Are you afraid? Lin Yuan looked at the immortal consciousness hiding in the corner, proactively asking. The immortal consciousness was only instinctive, and its reactions came from inherent fear. Hum hum hum. Shortly after, the immortal consciousness promptly responded, clarifying Lin Yuan's doubts. Chapter 931 Return. End of this volume. Please subscribe. The consciousness of the immortal realm can easily mobilize the entire power of the immortal realm. Even the ancestor of the immortal path, a being of the 12th layer, must retreat before the vast power of the immortal realm. The entire immortal realm is like the body of the immortal realm's consciousness. Even if Lin Yuan enters the heart of the origin core, he cannot harness the power of the immortal realm from here. However, the consciousness of the immortal realm can still control the myriad rules themselves and contend with Lin Yuan. After all, the heart of the origin core is where the myriad rules exist, and the consciousness of the immortal realm also has control over these myriad rules themselves. But after Lin Yuan bred the chaos rule, he naturally suppressed all myriad rules, and the consciousness of the immortal realm sensed that even with control over myriad rules, it could not deal with Lin Yuan, and thus began to fear. After all, Lin Yuan, as of this moment, could erase the consciousness of the immortal realm by force if he so wished. Of course, the consciousness of the immortal realm still has the ability to resist, which is to actively self-destruct, leading to the collapse of the immortal realm. In doing so, the myriad rules of the immortal realm will actively converge into the chaos rule to counter Lin Yuan. But in doing so, the consciousness of the immortal realm will also collapse. Although a destroyed immortal realm would still be reborn and give birth to a new consciousness of the immortal realm, the future consciousness of the immortal realm would not be the same as the current one. Therefore, unless absolutely necessary, the consciousness of the immortal realm will definitely not choose to self-destruct. That is only slightly better than being erased. Rest assured, I will not erase you, Lin Yuan said casually, mainly because erasing the consciousness of the immortal realm brings him no benefit. Now that Lin Yuan has more or less comprehended the rules at the heart of the origin core of the immortal realm, erasing its consciousness does not help him much. In simple terms, whatever Lin Yuan could gain from the consciousness of the immortal realm, he has already obtained. If Lin Yuan truly pressures the consciousness of the immortal realm into a corner, forcing it to self-destruct and perish along with him, Lin Yuan would be indifferent. After all, he could return to the main universe at any moment, but the efforts of spreading martial Tao over 1,000 years in the 33 immortal domains of the immortal realm would then have been in vain. If the immortal realm itself ceases to exist, the martial Tao cultivators would naturally vanish as well. However, since the chaos rule can restrain the consciousness of a realm, I wonder about the consciousness of the main universe, Lin Yuan mused to himself. Although the immortal realm barely ranks on the same level as the main universe, the essence of the rules contained within the main universe is surely far superior to that of the immortal realm. For instance, at the heart of the origin core of the immortal realm, comprehending the pillar-level fusion rules to the 7th realm is the limit. But at the heart of the origin core of the main universe, the limit could rise to the 8th realm or even the 9th realm. Forget it, I reckon I can't even enter the primordial lands of the main universe. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. The reason he can enter this core is not because of his own strength, but because of his understanding of the space-time rule, which surpasses the space-time of the immortal realm at the 7th realm. As for forcing his way in, the vast power of the immortal realm is enough to suppress even the typical ultimate beings of the 12th layer, with the ancestor of the immortal path as an example. And the space-time of the main universe is even more vast than that of the immortal realm. To surpass the space-time of the main universe, Lin Yuan's perception of space-time would likely have to reach the 8th realm or even the 9th realm. And the 8th realm, the 9th realm of space-time perception? Even for Lin Yuan, it's a field he's confident of touching only after stepping into the 12th layer. You should know, one of Xuanwang's most proud methods is his perception of space-time at the 9th realm. Even among the peak powerhouses of the Chaos realm, very few have space-time perception reaching the 9th realm. I'm leaving. Lin Yuan glanced at the consciousness of the immortal realm, his figure vanishing from the heart of the origin core. After spawning the Chaos rule, Lin Yuan has reached the limit in all aspects. At least this place is of no further assistance to him. Is he gone? The consciousness of the immortal realm paused slightly and after repeatedly probing its surroundings, confirmed that Lin Yuan was no longer there and immediately began to mobilize the entire power of the immortal realm to heavily guard the core. Although the consciousness of the immortal realm does not have specific thoughts, it has developed a strong instinct, which is to not want to see Lin Yuan again. After all, nobody wants to confront an existence that can completely erase themselves. The Dao Ancestor Continent. The ancestor of the immortal path is still focused on the rule fluctuations that pervade the primordial lands. Has it stabilized again? The ancestor of the immortal path raised an eyebrow, slightly relieved. Although the disorderly and chaotic rule fluctuations cannot affect him, the ancestor of the immortal path still prefers order. Suddenly, at that moment, a figure silently condensed in front of the ancestor of the immortal path. What? The ancestor of the immortal path's expression fluctuated wildly, for this is his Daoist sanctuary, akin to his domain, where the ancestor of the immortal path controls everything, yet someone got inside undetected. It wasn't until the figure appeared before his eyes that the ancestor of the immortal path noticed. The ancestor of martial arts? The ancestor of the immortal path gazed at the figure not far away, recognizing it to be the ancestor of martial arts. Ancestor of the immortal path. Lin Yuan gave a slight smile. I have come to see you today to bid farewell. Indeed, after breeding the Chaos rule, the primordial lands no longer hold significance for Lin Yuan. With the remaining decades of his stay, Lin Yuan plans to wander about. Over the past millennium, Lin Yuan's incarnations have nearly visited every corner of the immortal realm. Yet beyond the immortal realm, in the vast void, Lin Yuan has not explored much. Mainly because the void is so vast that even with Lin Yuan's perception of space-time, he would find it dull and tedious over time. But now it's different. Having realized the Chaos rule, the desolate void has, in Lin Yuan's eyes, started to become slightly interesting. Farewell. The ancestor of the immortal path's complexion changed slightly. Lin Yuan plans to leave the primordial lands for only one reason, that is, the rules manifesting from the primordial lands are no longer of any help to him. But how is that possible? The ancestor of the immortal path has cultivated in seclusion in the primordial lands for countless eons, and even now, he still feels that the manifest rules of the primordial lands resonate with him. And yet, Lin Yuan intends to leave after merely 1,000 years? Did fellow Daoist achieve a breakthrough? The ancestor of the immortal path asked tentatively. At this moment, the aura Lin Yuan exudes far surpasses that of 1,000 years ago. The ancestor of the immortal path feels tremendous pressure, especially given Lin Yuan's ability to appear before him silently. The ancestor of the immortal path is almost certain that the recent rule anomaly that affected the entire immortal realm originated from Lin Yuan. Something like that. Lin Yuan said with a smile. Nurturing the chaos rule has brought improvements to Lin Yuan that are nearly equivalent to transcending the ultimate boundary. If not for the infusion of the chaos void origin while attempting the ultimate breakthrough in the main universe, the benefits would almost be akin to that very transcendence. Something like that? The ancestor of the immortal path's thoughts were somewhat complicated. He didn't know in what way Lin Yuan had broken through. At least, he could not sense the presence of a fellow ancestral master. But at this moment, Lin Yuan indeed posed a significant threat to the ancestor of the immortal path, a threat on the same level of strength. After I leave, I hope you will look after the many cultivators of the martial Tao lineage, Lin Yuan spoke. This statement could be a request, but also a warning. Once the stay limit is reached, Lin Yuan will completely leave the immortal realm. Thus, Lin Yuan specifically came to remind the ancestor of the immortal path. I will certainly do my best for the lineage of fellow Daoist, the ancestor of the immortal path said seriously. Even if Lin Yuan had not achieved a breakthrough, the ancestor of the immortal path would not dare to harm the martial Tao lineage, let alone now, after the breakthrough. Before his breakthrough, the ancestor of the immortal path, although unable to do anything to Lin Yuan, equally, Lin Yuan couldn't do anything to the ancestor of the immortal path either. And now? The ancestor of the immortal path still can't affect Lin Yuan, yet Lin Yuan remains capable of posing a threat to the ancestor of the immortal path. I hope so. Lin Yuan nodded. Even after ending this traversal, Lin Yuan could still keep an eye on the changes within the martial Tao of the immortal realm. After reaching the 7th realm of space-time, Lin Yuan's control over the myriad realms gate has elevated by a level. He can slightly sense it even without the transmission of information from the demon tree. I wonder. The ancestor of the immortal path intended to inquire more about the details of Lin Yuan's breakthrough but realized that the latter had already disappeared. Ancestor of martial arts. The ancestor of the immortal path's gaze was slightly complicated. The time the ancestor of martial arts has emerged is incredibly short, just over 1,000 years to this day. But the influence on the immortal realm and even the ancestor himself is unprecedented. Could the breakthrough of the ancestor of martial arts be related to the consciousness of the immortal realm? The ancestor of the immortal path pondered, also yearning for a breakthrough, especially one of great magnitude like that of the ancestor of martial arts. CTH Novelfire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. With this in mind, the ancestor of the immortal path's figure vanished, and before long he appeared outside the core area of the primordial lands. Rumbling sounds. Before the ancestor of the immortal path could react, he felt the overwhelming force of the immortal realm engulfing him. Begone! The consciousness of the immortal realm emitted fluctuations, and without hesitation, the ancestor of the immortal path retreated rapidly, leaving the area. The ancestor of the immortal path's expression turned unsightly. He didn't expect such a strong reaction from the consciousness of the immortal realm. He had only come to probe. Instead, he was directly expelled. Time has passed. In the blink of an eye, more than 90 years have flown by. In a void far from the immortal realm, Lin Yuan's figure stopped. The residence time is almost up. Lin Yuan looked around the boundless void. In these 90-plus years, through his continuous exploration, he unexpectedly discovered 4 worlds that, while slightly weaker than the immortal realm, transcend the spirit realm. Lin Yuan casually spread the teachings of the martial Tao in these 4 worlds. The martial Tao in the immortal realm is not in any trouble. Even across infinite time and space, Lin Yuan could still clearly sense the situation in the immortal realm. He left an incarnation there specifically for this purpose. It's time to go back. With a slight intention from Lin Yuan, a clock-shaped weapon with an ancient aura appeared in front of him. It was Lin Yuan's origin clock. This origin clock, which had been cultivated since Lin Yuan was at the 6th or 7th layer, has now reached the peak of the 11th layer. Turning all the power of this physical body into origin and infusing it into the origin clock may not transform it into a 12th layer weapon, but it should be close enough. Lin Yuan thought silently to himself. Let's begin. The energies within Lin Yuan began to collapse gradually. With the strength of his current physical body, taking it back to the main universe would require an immense amount of world-breaking origin force. Thus, he simply decided to turn it into nourishment for the transformation of the origin clock. 1 year later, Lin Yuan's physical body and soul had entirely transformed into the most fundamental primal force, fusing into the clock-shaped weapon. The next moment, Lin Yuan's spirit will was drawn, surging into the grand and glorious myriad realms gate deep within his consciousness. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 932 Beyond the Universe. Please subscribe. Xianxia Secret Realm. In a daze, Lin Yuan opened his eyes. Back again. Lin Yuan looked around and let out a light sigh. Since returning from the mega battlefield, Lin Yuan's true self had entered the Xianxia Secret Realm. Because this place could be considered absolutely safe, even those of the 12th layer path-splitting realm would not be able to find it. As for the Dominator realm, the Chaos realm, unless rulers of the main universe from the Dominator realm or Chaos realm, or surviving 12th layers from other realms, were rejected by the universe, they wouldn't even be able to enter, let alone locate the Xianxia Secret Realm. And to break through to the Dominator realm within a single cosmic era is as hard as ascending to the heavens. Who knows how many cosmic eras are needed to birth just one such being. Moreover, ordinary beings of the Dominator realm cannot locate the coordinates of the Xianxia Secret Realm. The Xianxia, as a peak force in the Chaos realm, dared to set the heritage site of profound Xianxia within the universe, surely deeming it to be perfectly safe. With the protection of the universe, even if the Xianxia truly falls, the Xianxia Secret Realm can exist for a very, very long time. Lin Yuan's true self hid within the Xianxia Secret Realm. It was naturally to guard against the ultimate 12 layers of other peak clan powers. After all, Lin Yuan's performance on the mega battlefield was too outstanding. Sur the Navire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. One could say he single-handedly swept through the forces of the other peak clans. Those ultimate 12 layers from the 11 great peak clans might put aside their pride to secretly assassinate him. Of course, the strongest of human civilization were definitely guarding against this possibility as well. But regardless, Lin Yuan still felt the safest within the Xianxia Secret Realm. Time and space can actually be utilized like this? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Lin Yuan's gaze turned towards the Xianxia Secret Realm. Following the 7th realm of time and space, the Xianxia Secret Realm appeared differently in Lin Yuan's eyes all of a sudden. The time-space mysteries involved, even Lin Yuan at the moment could only discern a fraction of them. The energy contained in the Xianxia Secret Realm wasn't vast, but its profundity was definitely at the Chaos realm level. Chaos? The more Lin Yuan looked, the deeper he delved, faintly discovering a trace of chaotic power at the very core of the Xianxia Secret Realm. Humming sounds. Within Lin Yuan's eyes, myriad rules turned. The chaos rule coursed through his body. The chaos rule bred within the immortal realm. Lin Yuan also mastered it the instant he returned to the main universe. Boom! The entire Xianxia Secret Realm began to vibrate slightly. Lin Yuan attracted that trace of chaotic power from the deepest part of the realm, faintly seeing a vision of an extremely ancient past. In the vast chaos void, there stood a towering figure dressed in a golden dragon robe, with fluttering black hair. He raised his right hand, sending 33,333 strands of chaotic power into the immense void, integrating them into 33,333 universes, forming the Xianhuang's secret realm. Is that the Xianhuang? Startled in his heart, Lin Yuan had never seen the Xianhuang, but he was convinced that this towering figure was the Xianhuang. So this is how the Xianhuang's secret realm came to be? The Xianhuang did not create it one by one, but opened it up all at once? Lin Yuan thought to himself. When cultivating the illusory reality's secret technique, he had seen the legacy image left by the Moyu Tower Master, but compared to the present Xianhuang, seemed to be on a lower level. Of course, it's also possible that the image left by the Moyu Tower Master was simply too trivial. 33,333 Xianhuang's secret realms? Lin Yuan realized that, by using the chaos rule, he briefly connected to the chaotic origin of the Xianhuang's secret realm, which is why he was able to see these visions. I should now fully control this secret realm, right? Lin Yuan thought to himself. After all, he was not the creator of the Xianhuang's secret realm, and even as its new master, his control over the realm was still lacking that little bit. But now, after communicating with the chaotic origin of the Xianhuang's secret realm, Lin Yuan could be said to have completely taken hold of the Xianhuang's secret realm. Even if the Xianhuang returned, he could no longer contest with him for control over the realm. What happened? At a high point in the Xianhuang's secret realm, a six-armed figure looked at the changes in the Xianhuang's secret realm with shock. As the spirit of the Xianhuang's secret realm, the six-armed figure naturally had complete control over every detail of the Xianhuang's secret realm. At this moment, the vibration of the Xianhuang's secret realm and the traction of its chaotic origin were likewise perceived by him. The chaotic origin of the secret realm. The six-armed figure could hardly believe it. The chaotic origin was the foundation of the Xianhuang's secret realm, as well as the power left behind by the Xianhuang originally. Although it had been assimilated by the universe after merging, severing it from Xuanwang's ownership, the level of power was clear. To attract the secret realm's chaotic origin, one must first comprehend the chaos rule, which the vast majority of those at the pinnacle of the dominator realm cannot achieve. Chaos rule? Has the master comprehended the chaos rule? The six-armed figure's mind was muddled. Merely grasping the chaos rule wasn't enough to attract the secret realm's chaotic origin. One must be the master of the Xianhuang's secret realm to accomplish this. That is to say, the current changes in the Xianhuang's secret realm stemmed from Lin Yuan, who had already realized the chaos rule. The master hasn't stepped into the 12th layer yet, right? The six-armed figure contemplated with difficulty. Without reaching the 12th layer? Comprehending the chaos rule? Even at Xuanwang's level of realm, such an exceptional genius had never been seen before, only heard of in ancient records, with no certainty whether such a being has ever existed. And now this exceptional genius had actually appeared before him, a mere spirit of the secret realm? Master! Not far from Lin Yuan, the six-armed figure appeared, looking towards the young man sitting cross-legged in front of him, with chaos aura circulating around his body, and called out with a touch of awe. Lin Yuan looked towards the six-armed figure. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 933 Beyond the Universe, Subscription Request, _2-inch Master has comprehended the chaos rule? Even though he was already absolutely certain, the six-armed figure couldn't help but ask. Fortuitously I have. Lin Yuan replied. In fact, the chaos rule was not something that could be comprehended directly. To be accurate, it was birthed from myriad other rules. At least that was the path Lin Yuan took. Really comprehended it? A tumultuous wave surged once again in the six-armed figure's heart. After dismissing the six-armed figure, Lin Yuan began to observe the changes within himself. The moment he comprehended the chaos rule in the immortal realm, Lin Yuan's physical body, soul, spirit, and internal world all underwent substantial leaps in strength. Now, back in his true form in the main universe, Lin Yuan similarly noticed changes in his physical body, soul body, and internal world. The most notable was the internal world. In the immortal realm, Lin Yuan's internal world was only a little over 200 million li in diameter, with no depth of heritage, and yet was able to experience a 10-fold to a 100-fold surge. The internal world of his true form in the main universe, with the chaos void origin accumulated from breaking through to level 11, began to terrifyingly and tremendously ascend after the integration of the chaos rule. Before the 11th traversal, Lin Yuan's internal world was less than 900 billion li in diameter. But now, boom, the internal world began to expand wildly, and a vast amount of the chaos void origin immersed deep within was absorbed. In just 10 breaths, the internal world expanded to reach 9 trillion li in diameter. Another 10 breaths, 20 trillion li in diameter. After another 10 breaths, 50 trillion li in diameter. It was only at this moment that the expansion of the internal world gradually slowed down. 51 trillion li in diameter. Lin Yuan's consciousness incarnation descended into his internal world, overlooking the vast expanse, and his heart couldn't help but be filled with myriad emotions. 51 trillion li in diameter. In fact, it was already possible to use a different unit of measurement. 51 trillion li, about equal to 2 light-years. That is to say, Lin Yuan's internal world had reached a diameter of 2 light-years. Unfortunately, the enhancement to the essence of life from comprehending the chaos rule still cannot compare to the enhancement from breaking through to level 12. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Normally speaking, upon ultimately successful breakthrough to level 11 and stepping into level 12, the internal world would explosively expand to several thousand light-years within a short time, transforming into an internal universe. Following this, it would gradually reach tens to hundreds of thousands of light-years in diameter, which is the normal standard for level 12 ultimates. Theoretically, the internal world of a path-splitting realm powerhouse at level 12 would be between 100,000 and 1 million light-years. Yet, at this moment, Lin Yuan's internal world exploded to reach 2 light-years and then slowed down. Of course, this doesn't mean that stepping into level 12 is harder than comprehending the chaos rule. On the contrary, the difficulty of comprehending the chaos rule is much higher than breaking through to level 12, not to mention comprehending the chaos rule at level 11. Who knows how many peak sovereigns are unable to comprehend the chaos rule and thus cannot advance further. Sia the Nelfire. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Comprehending the chaos rule and stepping into level 12 focus on completely different aspects. The former leans more towards skill, while the latter is purely about the level of life. For example, a common individual who masters grandmaster level skills, no matter how much they can eat, can at most consume several tens of jin of food in one meal. But a giant hundreds or thousands of meters tall can easily consume hundreds of tons of food. This is the difference brought about by different levels of life. Although my internal world cannot compare to the ultimate of level 12, I should be no weaker than those level 12 ultimates within the universe. Lin Yuan was very confident. His internal world was his weak point. In addition, his life's hierarchical stage is not as high as the ultimate 12th layer. But in terms of comprehending cosmic rules, Lin Yuan actually surpasses all who are at the ultimate 12th layer within the universe. This is true for both the 7th realm of space-time and the chaos rule. Secondly, regarding his physical body, when the Xianhuang physique is cultivated to a level 11 perfect, it reaches the 12th layer's level. Now, having been nurtured by the chaos rule, it has been elevated even further. There is no need to mention the strength of his soul will. With a soul will index of 40 million points, even if soul weaknesses exist, Lin Yuan can easily ward off other ultimate 12th layer soul ultimates and psychic attacks. 12th layer. Lin Yuan pondered for a moment, feeling the continuous spread of his inner world and the strength of his physical body, etc. He decided to delay the assault on the 12th layer. At the ultimate time, he will once again withstand the infusion of the chaos void origin. The stronger the physical body, the inner world, and the soul are at that time, the more chaos void origin they can contain, and the greater the benefits gained. Currently, Lin Yuan's inner world is only 2 light-years in diameter. The benefits brought by the chaos rule have not yet been completely digested. If he waits a bit longer, the final size of the inner world could reach 5 or even 10 light years. The capacity to contain the chaos void origin within an inner world of 5 or 10 light years would not merely be 3 or 5 times that of the current 2 light years but dozens of times the difference. Lin Yuan naturally does not wish to give up such benefits. At most, several decades will be needed to reach perfection, and then he'll assault the ultimate layer. Lin Yuan made up his mind. Several decades were nothing to him at his current level of strength. In fact, whether or not he made the assault on the ultimate level did not make much difference. Even without attempting the ultimate level, there is no 12th layer existence in the main universe that can kill him. Cosmic starry skies. Lin Yuan's figure appeared out of nowhere. This was his Taiyang divine spirit. The cosmic space-time. Lin Yuan looked deep into the distance. The comprehension of the 7th realm of space-time made his perception incredibly terrifying, reflecting the vast cosmic starry skies and countless spatial layers in his mind. Is this the entire universe? Lin Yuan was slightly shaken inside. Although he could see through every detail of the immortal realm when he was there, now looking down upon the entire universe still stirred something within him. The scale of the cosmic starry skies alone was 100 times that of the immortal realm, with complexity 1,000-fold or even more. Are there dozens of places where space-time is completely locked down, such that even I cannot perceive them in detail? Lin Yuan discovered that the cosmic starry skies still had secrets in front of him, and there were areas he had yet to explore. These dozens of places, do 7 of them belong to crucial locations of human civilization? Lin Yuan immediately understood in his heart. Any pinnacle race has ancestral lands with rich backgrounds, places of lineage, like the clan stars of human civilization and the key locations in the forefront. To prevent snooping by 12th layer ultimates, these crucial ancestral lands naturally have numerous defenses in place. The insect race has 4. Ancestor Tianyu has 5. The Yu clan has 8. Lin Yuan looked around in turn. Lin Yuan didn't forcefully probe these time-space lockdowns that eluded his perception but merely glanced at each from a distance and moved his gaze away. HM? The robber clan? Only one? Lin Yuan's expression was slightly surprised. Among the cosmic pinnacle race powers, the robber clan is definitely the most mysterious and powerful, only rivaled by the universe clan at their peak. It is said that the robber clan comes from the previous cosmic era and is targeted and suppressed by the cosmic will. Yet, their power cannot be concealed. The 2 12th layer ultimates of the robber clan are already at the pinnacle of the path-splitting realm. If they were not detested by the cosmic consciousness, the robber clan might not rule over the 10,000 universe races, but probably wouldn't be far off. However, even the insect race and the Tianyu clan have several time-space locked ancestral lands, but the even more powerful robber clan only has 1? Lin Yuan's gaze pierced through layer upon layer of space-time, looking deep into the robber clan's territory. Lin Yuan couldn't feel anything specific about the robber clan's crucial land. It looked completely ordinary, just a simple cabin. But it was this very cabin that blocked Lin Yuan's vision despite being in the 7th realm of space-time. I cannot feel any aura from this cabin whatsoever? Lin Yuan observed closely. When facing the other pinnacle race's crucial ancestral lands, even though he could not discern specifics, he could still infer some information. But facing this cabin? There were no clues at all. Interesting. Curiosity sparked within Lin Yuan, and he began to approach the cabin slightly, attempting to observe it through different dimensions of space-time. Rustle? As Lin Yuan intensified his observation, the door of the cabin abruptly pushed open, and a figure shrouded in mist stepped out. Who is spying on my robber clan's ancestral land? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 934 Upload Martial Tao 11th Tier Chapter Request for Subscription Discovered. Lin Yuan did not panic, quickly retracting his perception. As long as the other party's fusion of time and space does not reach the 7th realm, At most they might faintly detect Lin Yuan's surveillance. As for pinpointing Lin Yuan's location, it's basically impossible. That's the advantage of the spatiotemporal fusion rule, the initiative completely in Lin Yuan's hands. If it weren't for worrying about the robber clan using some means to attack through space and time along the perception, Lin Yuan would not even retract his perception. In the deepest parts of the robber clan's territory, in an unknowable place, in front of a mysterious cabin, the figure who stepped out from the door stood there, looking around with a heavy gaze. "What's going on?" A voice came from inside the cabin, seemingly puzzled. "I felt that a powerful being was spying on us." The figure standing outside the cabin slowly said, "Spying on us?" The voice inside the cabin silenced for a while. "The ancestral cabin is the foundation of our robber clan. Could these young 12th-tier beings of this cosmic era actually detect the existence of the ancestral cabin? The strongest foundation of the robber clan is this ancestral cabin, which is why they could survive from the last cosmic era to this one. I indeed felt I was being spied on." The figure outside the cabin asserted, "Detecting the existence of the ancestral cabin must at least be at the peak of the path-splitting realm, and possibly with the aid of a powerful spatiotemporal treasure." Path-splitting realm peak. The voice inside the cabin solemnly said, "The cosmic era is far from over. How has a 12th tier at the peak of the path-splitting realm emerged so quickly? Normally, in a complete cosmic era, it is rare to see the birth of a 12th tier at the peak of the path-splitting realm. Even if one appeared, it is usually close to the end of the cosmic era. Currently, not even 1/10 of the cosmic era has passed. There simply aren't conditions for the birth at the peak of the path-splitting realm. If not at the peak of the path-splitting realm, who could detect the ancestral cabin?" The figure outside the cabin said quietly, "Even if possessing a powerful spatiotemporal treasure, one must also have the corresponding realm and comprehension of space-time to activate it. And the threshold for the latter is the peak of the path-splitting realm. Of course, comprehension of space-time reaching the 7th realm could also achieve it. But the 7th realm of space-time is much harder to reach than the peak of the path-splitting realm." Neither the voice inside the cabin nor the figure outside considered this possibility. The figure that emerged from the cabin must be one of the robber clan's 2 12th tiers. Lin Yuan quickly retracted his perception, thinking rapidly. The robber clan only has 2 12th tiers, but they suppress the other top 11 peak clans from making any moves because these 2 12th tiers are both at the peak of the path-splitting realm. The robber clan poses no threat to me. Lin Yuan pondered for a while. The 2 12th tiers of the robber clan, despite having the strength to suppress other ultimate 12th tiers, dare not fully exert their power. Because the real enemies of the robber clan's 2 12th tiers are the cosmic consciousness. If they fully exert their power, they'd be directly suppressed by the cosmic consciousness. The consciousness of the immortal realm commands the power of the immortal realm, capable of suppressing beings like the ancestor of the immortal path at the 12th tier. The cosmos are 100 times vast than the immortal realm, and the cosmic consciousness can easily suppress life at the peak of the path-splitting realm. After roughly gaining insight into the cosmic starry skies, Lin Yuan's thoughts fluttered slightly, and he arrived at a large battlefield. Eternal spatial rift. Lin Yuan looked towards the rift connecting the cosmos to the outside not far away. My perception can cross the spatial rift. As Lin Yuan's thoughts shifted, outside the cosmos, the vast chaos void gathered strands of chaotic power, forming a figure. It was Lin Yuan's avatar. Not subjected to the cosmos backlash, Lin Yuan constantly observed the surroundings. Though ultimate existences of the 12th tier are not allowed to leave the cosmic starry skies, that refers to their true bodies. If it's just an avatar carrying not much energy, it can leave. However, the significance isn't very great. Even for an ultimate 12th tier, whose comprehension of time-space stays at the 6th realm, even sending an avatar out of the cosmos, it cannot get too far. Once it surpasses a certain range, the connection with the original body severs, and this avatar will collapse. And within the chaos void, filled with omnipresent chaos chi, merely relying on the power of an avatar, it's difficult to resist the erosion of the chaos chi, and even more impossible to last long. But Lin Yuan is different. His seventh realm understanding of space-time allows his avatar to maintain a connection with the primordial spirit of his true body even across vast distances. After mastering the chaos rule, Lin Yuan's avatar, formed entirely of chaos chi, enters the chaos void like a fish in water, without worrying about erosion. It could be useful to explore the chaos void with an avatar. Lin Yuan smiled, the chaos void vast and boundless, containing countless opportunities. Whether it's the outer domain auroras, the white paper containing two-dimensional worlds, or many ancient treasures that fell into the cosmos from earlier, all originate from the chaos void outside the cosmos. Once Lin Yuan can explore the chaos void ahead of time, the help to himself would be unimaginably great. Of course, while the chaos void contains countless opportunities, it is also very dangerous. But Lin Yuan is merely exploring with an avatar, and if he truly encounters an unstoppable danger, he can just dissipate the avatar. Is this the cosmos? Outside the cosmos, Lin Yuan turned back to look at the massive object behind him. Even in the vast chaos void, the cosmos is an immensely massive celestial body, strong enough that not even rulers of realms can meddle with it. In terms of size, the cosmos is on the same level as beings of the chaos realm. Let's go. Lin Yuan paused for a moment and then immediately chose a direction and started to explore towards the chaos void. Milky Way main star. Taiyin primordial spirit was usually stationed here. Martial Tao 11th rank chapter. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, details about the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter emerging in his mind. As early as in the Immortal realm, Lin Yuan had already fully developed the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter. For the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter, Lin Yuan specifically established tens of thousands of spatiotemporal fusion rule models, as well as many other rule models. This was also one of Lin Yuan's greatest gains in the Immortal realm, mastering hundreds of thousands of pillar-level fusion rules, surpassing those ultimate beings of human civilization in understanding the essence of many rules, which is why he could achieve what even ultimate beings had not accomplished. Establishing spatiotemporal fusion rule models from the 1st to 5th realm. With these rule models, future martial arts evolutionary paths will be much easier. Lin Yuan thought to himself, having rule models as guidance is like having the right direction, and taking a shortcut, making the process much easier. And the spatiotemporal fusion rule models established by Lin Yuan were not only applicable to martial arts evolutionaries, but also could be referenced by other evolutionary pathways, though the effects were not as significant. Even so, Lin Yuan could imagine the impact of the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter on human civilization. Nowadays, human civilization has not yet perfected the complete rule of time model, and the current space-time rule model, even if fully understood, cannot fully comprehend the rule of time. But Lin Yuan directly went further, establishing the spatiotemporal fusion rule model from the 1st to 5th realm? It's almost done. Lin Yuan thought repeatedly, and after confirming that there were no omissions in the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter, he directly contacted the Goddess of Wisdom. Respected 10th level citizen Scholar Yuan, the Goddess of Wisdom is pleased to serve you. The solemn and cool voice of the Goddess of Wisdom sounded. I want to upload the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter. Lin Yuan said directly. Martial Tao 11th rank chapter. After a brief pause, the Goddess of Wisdom immediately responded, Respected 10th level citizen Scholar Yuan, you can now upload. No sooner had the Goddess of Wisdom finished speaking. Lin Yuan began to upload the well-prepared Martial Tao 11th rank chapter. Compared to the previous Martial Tao 1st tier chapter to 10th rank chapter, the upload speed of the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter was much slower, mainly because the content information was too vast. Spatiotemporal fusion rule models. Even the simplest one occupies a space of information thousands to tens of thousands of times that of the earlier Martial Tao 1st tier chapter to 10th rank chapter, not to mention the over 30,000 spatiotemporal fusion rule models established by Lin Yuan. Besides the space-time rule model, there were also many other rule models, including those more niche rule models. After more than 10 minutes, Lin Yuan had finally uploaded the complete Martial Tao 11th rank chapter. Respected 10th level citizen Scholar Yuan, please wait a moment. the goddess of wisdom, having received all contents of the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter, immediately began contacting the ultimate beings of human civilization. As early as when Lin Yuan developed the 9th rank chapter, the goddess of wisdom was unable to make the most objective judgments on the martial arts evolutionary path and needed the opinions of ultimate beings. The 11th rank chapter was even more so. A virtual world. On the 9 thrones, towering figures appeared one after another. Martial Tao 11th rank chapter? Has the Galaxy Master young fellow already fully developed the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter? Haha, I'm curious what the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter developed by the Galaxy Master looks like. Indeed, from the 1st to 10th rank chapter, truly stunning. Soon, all 9 ultimate beings of human civilization gathered, all showing keen interest. You old guys, Xiaqin, an ultimate being, rolled his eyes. Don't put too much pressure on the Galaxy Master. The Martial Tao 11th rank chapter is after all just the 11th rank chapter. Why are you so interested? Xiaqin wasn't belittling Lin Yuan, but compared to the uplift the uploading of the 9th and 10th rank chapter brought to the martial arts evolutionary path. Search * the Novire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The Martial Tao 11th rank chapter might not be as significant as imagined. Currently, the martial arts evolutionary path is ranked 10th in the human civilization evolution rankings, with the 9 top ultimate evolutionary paths above it. Even if updated with the 11th rank chapter, it will definitely still be ranked 10th, unable to surpass any of the top ultimate evolutionary paths. Even Xiaqin himself couldn't figure out how to fully develop and perfect the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter to match the standards from the 1st to 9th rank chapter. Xiaqin, you really care about the Galaxy Master. Void God, an ultimate being, said with a smile. Since that's the case, let's watch the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter. Just watch normally, without too many expectations. Upon hearing this, the other ultimate beings glanced at each other and nodded slightly. While chatting casually, the goddess of wisdom had already sent the complete Martial Tao 11th rank chapter to each of the ultimate beings. 11th rank chapter. Xiaqin, an ultimate being, watched it first, feeling a touch of nervousness in his heart. However, just a few breaths into watching, Xiaqin's expression changed. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 935 Martial Tao Rankings. Subscribe please. The speed at which the thoughts of Xiaqin Supreme Being ran was truly swift, as he immediately uncovered the crux of the Martial Tao First Tier Chapter, Rule Models. Within the Martial Tao First Tier Chapter, a vast number of rule models are contained, all of which are quite different from the many rule models compiled by human civilization. One must know, to establish and perfect a rule model requires the expenditure of an unknown number of evolution scholars' efforts. Moreover, some rule models are not something that can be established as soon as one wishes to do so. Which one of the rule models compiled by human civilization isn't the result of generation after generation of evolution scholars' relentless endeavors? But now, Xiaqin Supreme Being has discovered a plethora of entirely new rule models within the Martial Tao First Tier Chapter. Entirely new rule models? A multitude? Xiaqin Supreme Being's heart was filled with doubt and amazement, and he immediately began to delve into every rule model included in the Martial Tao First Tier Chapter. The other 8 human Supreme Beings did the same, focusing most of their minds on the rule models. Is this the rule model for the infinite space rule? Such pillar-level fusion rules are mastered by so few evolutionaries in our human civilization, yet a rule model has already been created? And look at this rule model, the Great Destruction Thunderbolt Rule Model. The fusion of the Great Destruction Rule and the Thunderbolt Rule? The Great Destruction Rule itself is already a pillar-level fusion rule, and now fused with the Thunderbolt Rule? A rule model for this too? The Rule of Time Shadow Model? The model is no problem, but how did the Galaxy Master create these rule models? As their understanding deepened, a storm of shock and awe swiftly arose in the hearts of the 9 human supreme beings. For the establishment and perfection of a rule model, it primarily requires an ultimate understanding of the corresponding rule. Otherwise, not to mention establishing a rule model, one cannot even fully comprehend that kind of rule. Furthermore, the rule models that are established and perfected must possess dissemination standard. An evolutionary scholar who has just penetrated the rule of time, with some cost, indeed can establish a complete rule of time model. However, this kind of rule of time model is only applicable to this evolution scholar, and it won't be of any help to other evolutionaries' understanding of their own rule of time by contemplating this model. No matter which rule, they are all boundless. Even the most basic golden rules, when fully understood by different evolutionaries, what they grasp of the golden rules is in fact inconsistent. It's merely different aspects of the golden rules. Rule models stem from summarizing the corresponding rules. The more aspects they encompass, the broader their dissemination standard. But as easy as it is to say, it is incredibly difficult to achieve. However, as the 9 human supreme beings continually inspected rule models within the Martial Tao First Tier chapter, they astonishingly found that the dissemination standard of these rule models was unbelievably high, fully reaching the level that they could be completely spread amongst all evolutionary beings in human civilization. But how is this possible? Just the rule models seen by the 9 supreme beings correspond to thousands of rules. The Galaxy Master could only hope to establish the corresponding rule models after elevating these rules to the ultimate understanding. Just thousands of rules? And all at least pillar-level fusion rules? Understanding all elevated to the ultimate? The 9 supreme beings were somewhat dumbfounded for a moment. They hadn't reached such a level of rule comprehension. The rule model for the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Just then, Xiaqian's supreme being's mind was shaken because he saw the core section of the Martial Tao First Tier chapter. That was the rule model corresponding to the spatio-temporal fusion rule. The most important rule in the 11th layer of any evolutionary path, including the path of the supreme evolution, is the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Other pillar-level fusion rules, you may choose to comprehend or not to comprehend. Just like breaking through from the 10th layer to the 11th, one only needs to elevate a pillar-level fusion rule to the second realm. There's no specification as to which pillar-level fusion rule it must be. So the novel, If Ire, at website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. But the spatio-temporal fusion rule? To progress in the 11th layer, one needs to understand the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Time and space are the 2 cornerstones of all rules, and the spatio-temporal fusion rule is even more so. Simply put, the spatio-temporal fusion rule is a mandatory option for every evolutionist who reaches the 11th layer. The spatio-temporal fusion rule models from the 1st realm to the 5th realm? 33,333 rule models? These rule models. It took the 9 supreme beings over an hour to finish reading the more than 30,000 rule models corresponding to the spatio-temporal fusion rule. It's not that the 9 supreme beings couldn't understand them. Anyone who steps into the 12th layer has already reached the 6th realm in terms of spatio-temporal comprehension. However, determining whether a rule model for a certain rule meets the dissemination standard requires not just an understanding of that part of the rule's essence that one comprehends, but also involves reviewing the other aspects. And since the rule model for the spatio-temporal fusion rule is of great importance, as the supreme beings of human civilization, they naturally felt more reassured after reviewing it several times. The rule model for the spatio-temporal fusion rule has a high dissemination standard, reaching the level required for widespread propagation. After a while, the ancient power supreme being spoke up, his tone unconsciously revealing disbelief. Before seeing the spatio-temporal fusion rule model, they were both expectant and apprehensive in their hearts. But after confirmation, they were somewhat in disbelief. If it were said that the spatio-temporal fusion rule model originated from the hands of Xianyuan Supreme, the other 8 human supreme beings could reluctantly accept it. After all, the stature of Xianyuan Supreme is evident. He is the strongest of the human civilization's supreme beings, with power close to the peak of the path-splitting realm. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 936 Martial Tao Rankings. Subscribe please. _2 But Lin Yuan? A little fellow who has just stepped into the 11th rank not long ago? The rule comprehension of the Galaxy Master should have surpassed us, the Void God Ultimate being silently mused for a moment before slowly continuing. At least the 9 of them, as ultimate beings, were unable to create so many perfect rule models. Regarding the spatiotemporal fusion rule model, the 9 ultimate beings had always been trying to establish it, but it was still far from perfection. Yet now, in the Martial Tao First Tier chapter, they saw an incredibly perfect model of the spatiotemporal fusion rule, which directly spanned from the 1st realm to the 5th realm. Surpassed us? Xiaqin, the ultimate being, and the other ultimate beings exchanged glances, somewhat disoriented. Although they had long recognized the potential of the Galaxy Master, believing Lin Yuan to be the strongest evolutionary genius in the history of human civilization, far surpassing them before they had stepped into the 12th layer. If Lin Yuan could successfully break through to the 12th layer, he might soon become the second 12-star human civilization has ever seen, just below the Xianyuan Supreme. And to go even further, he could directly surpass the Xianyuan Supreme, becoming the most formidable ultimate being in human civilization. But all this is predicated on Lin Yuan entering the 12th layer. Now that Lin Yuan is merely at the 11th rank, his comprehension of the rules already surpasses that of these ultimate beings. This was something none of the ultimate beings had anticipated. The previous mental and spiritual will of Lin Yuan, when reaching the 12th layer's level, in the eyes of the 9 ultimate beings, could still possibly be a trick, perhaps due to some special events that led to a sudden increase in mental and spiritual will. Even so, as ultimate beings, they still felt that Lin Yuan's mental and spiritual will was only on par with them, not surpassing or dominating. But now, establishing so many perfect rule models, especially the spatiotemporal fusion rule model, indisputably showcases the terrifying extent of Lin Yuan's rule comprehension. Unlike mental and spiritual will, there is no shortcut to rule comprehension. One can only comprehend by oneself. 9 ultimate beings, please make the final judgment on the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter. As the thoughts of the 9 ultimate beings drifted, the voice of the goddess of wisdom rang out. The final judgment for the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter? Xiaqin, the ultimate being, and the other ultimate beings steadied their spirits, contemplating seriously. Without a doubt, the value of the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter was revolutionary, simply immeasurable. Not to mention the crucial spatiotemporal fusion rule model, just the other thousands of pillar-level fusion rules alone would have an unprecedented impact on human civilization. It should be noted that these rule models' influence is not limited to martial arts evolutionaries. Evolutionaries of other paths can also comprehend them, although the effect may not be as pronounced as it is for martial arts evolutionaries. It can be foreseen that for countless millennia to come, the evolutionaries of human civilization will be influenced by the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter. Even those who haven't taken the path of martial arts evolutionary will be able to purchase and observe it. The influence of the martial arts evolutionary path will surpass that of the 9 major ultimate evolutionary paths in one fell swoop. After all, evolutionaries of the 9 major ultimate evolutionary paths only make up 1/10 of the total evolving population of human civilization. There are still a large number of evolutionaries who do not follow the supreme evolutionary paths. Of course, this ratio increases with higher-tier evolutionaries. Among 8th, 9th, and 10th rank evolvers, 4 or 5 out of every 10 are from the supreme evolutionary paths. But even so, they are no match for the influence of the martial arts evolutionary path. The multitude of rule models in the 11th tier chapter can be utilized by any evolver. Xianyuan, what is your judgment? After repeated consideration, Xiaqin, the ultimate being, turned to look at the Xianyuan Supreme. The other 7 human ultimate beings did the same, The value of the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter was too great, so vast that these ultimate beings dared not to make conclusions lightly. My judgment is, Xianyuan Supreme's expression was solemn as he slowly declared, 100 trillion merit points. As these words were said, the expressions of the 8 ultimate beings varied. The judgment of most ultimate beings was about 50 to 60 trillion merit points. How could Xianyuan Supreme directly give a judgment of 100 trillion merit points? 100 trillion merit points? Xianyuan, you rate the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter so highly? Xia Qin's face showed surprise. His own judgment of the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter hadn't reached the terrifying figure of 100 trillion merit points. What is the concept of 100 trillion merit points? Since the beginning of the Starry Sea era, human civilization hadn't seen such a vast amount of merit points being spent. Rating the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter so highly is also a high rating of the Galaxy Master. The Xianyuan Supreme opened his mouth and then looked towards the other Supremes. If none of you have any objections, well, proceed with this verdict. No problem. The value of martial arts tier 11 is worth this price. Indeed. Xia Qin and the other 7 Supremes nodded, having no objections. 9 Supremes, the final verdict for martial arts tier 11 is 10 trillion contribution points. Should this be converted into a corresponding ranking value for an increase? The voice of the goddess of wisdom continued to convey. Ranking value is a judgment made by the 3 goddesses according to the potential and popularity of each evolutionary path, among other factors, and is specifically used to rank within the evolutionary leaderboard. The higher the ranking value, the higher the evolutionary path is ranked. Of course, the ranking value is just internal data for the 3 goddesses. Only the 9 Supremes are aware of it, and other evolutionaries do not know of this standard. Ranking value. The Xianyuan Supreme paused for a moment and said, "We shall just follow the rules." The Xianyuan Supreme was very clear on why the Goddess of Wisdom specifically raised this issue. Because if the value of martial arts tier 11 truly reached 10 trillion contribution points, then the ultimate ranking value it received would surpass some of the supreme evolutionary paths. Among the 9 grand supreme evolutionary paths, there is also a ranking value, ranging between 8 trillion to 12 trillion. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged. After uploading martial arts tier 11, Lin Yuan's waiting time was much longer than the previous 10 uploads. But Lin Yuan was not surprised, as the contents contained within martial arts tier 11 were too vast. Especially those rule models, which even the Supremes would need to spend time to verify and determine. Respected 10th level citizen scholar Yuan, the martial arts tier 11 you uploaded has passed the final verdict. Suddenly, the solemn and serene voice of the goddess of wisdom rang out. It passed the verdict? Lin Yuan's face showed interest. Even Lin Yuan guessed that the verdict of martial arts tier 11 was not led by the 3 goddesses. It must have the involvement of human civilization's Supremes. Lin Yuan was also quite curious about the Supremes' reliance on martial arts tier 11. The final determined value of martial arts tier 11 is 10 trillion contribution points. The goddess of wisdom swiftly stated. 10 trillion contribution points. Lin Yuan let out a light sigh of relief. Even though not long ago, Lin Yuan on his own had broken through an immensely large battlefield, securing a vast territory for human civilization, and had well intimidated the myriad tribes' powerhouses. The contribution points he ultimately obtained were just over 200 billion. But now, the value of martial arts tier 11 actually reached 10 trillion? Is it because of those rule models? Lin Yuan had a notion in his mind. If the martial Tao evolutionary path is only applicable to martial arts evolutionaries, but those rule models could be used by any evolver with an inconceivably high popularity. This led to the explosive increase in the verdict of martial arts tier 11. Breaking through an immensely large battlefield, securing a massive territory for human civilization. While it might somewhat enhance the civilization's foundation, compared to the overall size of the territories, the foundation's increase is ultimately limited. But martial arts tier 11 is different. It's not as simple as enhancing the foundation. It's about instantaneously elevating human civilization's foundation by several levels. So many contribution points, based on the human civilization's exchange rate of 1 12-star rarity equivalent to 100 million contribution points. 10 trillion contribution points, would that be exchanged for 100,000 12-star rarities? Lin Yuan pondered silently. 100,000 12-star rarities? Perhaps all of the 12-star rarities of human civilization combined wouldn't amount to that much. Right? The ranking of the martial Tao evolutionary path. Lin Yuan's mind subtly moved as he remembered this matter. Chapter 937 Unprecedented Subscribe Request. After uploading the 11th level, Martial Tao is the level 11 evolutionary pathway. It is also the highest level in the ultimate evolutionary pathways. The latest ranking of the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway. Lin Yuan immediately looked at the Martial Tao section in his personal information. As the founder of Martial Tao, Lin Yuan has the authority to see the latest rankings of Martial Tao. As for others, they must wait until the evolution rankings update at midnight to see them. Lin Yuan's expression changed slightly. Even after uploading the 11th level, Lin Yuan had anticipated the rankings of the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway. That was still 10th. After all, the 9 evolutionary pathways ahead are all ultimate evolutionary pathways. The potential of the Martial Tao 11th level, no matter how great, is ultimately not an ultimate evolutionary pathway and cannot be compared with the ultimate evolutionary pathways. However, search * the novelier. T website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. When Lin Yuan saw the latest ranking of the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway, he couldn't help but feel surprised. Martial Tao evolutionary pathway, 5th in the human civilization evolution rankings. 5th. Lin Yuan was inevitably surprised. Although it only rose 4 ranks, from 10th to 5th. But it's important to realize, the pathways Martial Tao surpassed are all ultimate evolutionary pathways. It seems the 3 goddesses ranking algorithm for evolutionary pathways does not weigh ultimate evolutionary pathways very heavily, Lin Yuan concluded. If considering potential alone, the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway is definitely not an ultimate evolutionary pathway. After all, despite the high potential of the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway, it only has the potential to ascend to an ultimate evolutionary pathway, but ultimate evolutionary pathways are already ultimate by nature. The fact that the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway reached 5th in human civilization must be influenced by other factors. It must be the spatiotemporal fusion rule model. Lin Yuan thought to himself, the spatiotemporal fusion rule model from the 1st to 5th realm directly reduced the training difficulty for 11th level human civilization evolvers by several tiers. This influence is probably even greater than that of ultimate evolutionary pathways. And that's a good thing. Lin Yuan determined in his heart. Since the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway has become the 5th evolutionary pathway in human civilization, it will definitely cause a significant surge in the number of martial arts evolutionaries. This is also helpful for Lin Yuan's future pursuit of the ultimate path. Although after his journey to the Immortal realm, the number of Martial Tao practitioners has already surpassed the combined number of practitioners from the 9 great ultimate evolutionary pathways. But Lin Yuan certainly wouldn't mind having more Martial Tao practitioners. Continue cultivating. After pondering for a while, Lin Yuan continued to delve into comprehension. Upon returning to the main universe, Lin Yuan faintly perceived the possibility of advancing again within the 7th realm of spacetime. Of course, not from the 7th to the 8th realm, as with Lin Yuan's level of life, reaching the 7th realm of spacetime is already the limit. What about the 8-fold realm of spacetime? Even if it could be comprehended, it would be blown apart in an instant by the vast information of spatiotemporal fusion rules. But at least it could take another step within the 7th realm, like reaching the mid-stage of the 7th realm? The next day at dawn, several evolutionary pathway rankings in the virtual world began to update sequentially. Martial Tao evolutionary pathway? What's up with the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway? Did they update the 11th tier? Actually, whether Martial Tao updates the 11th rank doesn't really affect us, as the rankings won't change, and we don't know the specific potential of the 11th rank. In the virtual world, many evolvers and high-level citizens initially didn't take it seriously. When the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway updated the 9th rank and 10th rank, the rankings rose significantly, sparking their curiosity, prompting them to purchase the latest chapters of Martial Tao to explore. But now, the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway is already the 10th pathway in human civilization, with only the ultimate evolutionary pathways above it. The gap is too big. Even if the 11th rank of Martial Tao is exceptionally outstanding, could it really surpass the ultimate evolutionary pathways? 5th, the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway has become the 5th evolutionary pathway in human civilization. What? Could it be that the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway continuously updated the 11th rank, 12th rank? Wrong, the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway only updated the 11th rank. Just updating the 11th rank, and it's ranked 5th in human civilization's evolutionary pathways? Surpassing 4 major ultimate evolutionary pathways? Countless high-ranking citizens of human civilization were dumbstruck. In their understanding, the 9 ultimate beings reigned supreme above all, and the corresponding 9 ultimate evolutionary paths were the same. Even the most brilliant genius and the most astonishing evolutionary path cannot compare to these 9 ultimate evolutionary paths, unless they too could join the ranks of the ultimate evolutionary paths. Impossible. The martial arts evolutionary path indeed has great potential and may become an ultimate evolutionary path, but how could it surpass the ultimate evolutionary paths? Right, aspiring to become an ultimate evolutionary path is ultimately not the same as being an ultimate evolutionary path. The 11th level evolvers of human civilization were also shaken, even those hidden 11th level evolvers from before the Starry Sea era, who had never revealed themselves to alien races, found it unbelievable. The 11th level evolutionary path surpasses the 4 great ultimate evolutionary paths to become the 5th evolutionary path of human civilization? Could the 3 goddesses have made a mistake? The 3 goddesses making a mistake? The changes in the ranking of ultimate evolutionary paths cannot be decided by the 3 goddesses alone. The 9 ultimate beings must have already been aware. Martial arts evolutionary path being ranked 5th must be recognized by the 9 ultimate beings. After a brief moment of incredulity, those ancient 11th level evolvers of human civilization instantly calmed down. Doubting that the 3 goddesses made a mistake is unrealistic. Even if the 3 goddesses were wrong, could it be that the 9 ultimate beings of human civilization were also mistaken? Since so much time has passed and the ranking of the martial arts evolutionary path remains unchanged, it means there are no mistakes or errors in this matter. Since the ultimate beings all know and still keep the martial arts evolutionary path at 5th, there must be some highly impactful information contained in the 11th ranked chapter? I'm going to buy the 11th ranked chapter now to see. Me too. The 11th level evolvers of human civilization immediately started purchasing, too curious about the mysterious profoundness contained within the martial arts evolutionary path, which has made it the 5th evolutionary path of human civilization. Is this a rule model? So many pillar-level fusion rules models? And the rule model of spatiotemporal fusion rule? No wonder. The many 11th level evolvers, who initially bought the Martial Tao 11th rank chapter with many emotions, immediately went silent and began to fervently comprehend it. Many pillar-level fusion rule models and the rule model of spatiotemporal fusion rule, akin to a path to the heavens, even those 11th level perfected evolvers who have reached the 5th realm in spatiotemporal comprehension, were greatly moved and immediately began their closed-door training. Virtual world, a certain mysterious space. 9 ultimate beings of human civilization sat on their thrones. Allowing the martial arts evolutionary path to join the 5th rank, none of you 4 have objections, right? Xianyuan Supreme looked at 4 of the ultimate beings and calmly said, The goddess of wisdom specifically asked him whether to determine the corresponding ranking based on the final merit points, considering the dignity of the ultimate beings. Allowing the 11th level martial arts evolutionary path to surpass the 4 great ultimate evolutionary paths might cause emotional responses in the corresponding 4 ultimate beings. Any objections? The 4 ultimate beings shook their heads. The contribution and impact of the martial arts 11th rank chapter on human civilization are indeed greater than that of a single ultimate evolutionary path. Being able to step into the 12th level, they naturally have precise judgments about the martial arts evolutionary path. The ranking of human civilization evolution only considers the impact of the evolutionary path itself, and the martial arts evolutionary path 11th rank chapter will have a profound impact on all the evolvers of human civilization. This aspect is something that some ultimate evolutionary paths cannot compare to. But be careful of other alien races. The Void God Ultimate Being suddenly said, the many rule models contained in the martial arts 11th rank chapter are of great help to any evolving being, just as much for human civilization evolvers as for those alien strong ones. Don't worry, I've already reinforced the distribution channels through the clan suppression weapons several times. Xinyuan Supreme nodded and said, to purchase the martial arts 11th rank chapter, to obtain the many rule models inside, one can only do so through the official virtual world of human civilization. Xinyuan Supreme has already reinforced this purchasing channel several times and it will not leak. As for after the purchase, whether it can be spread by oneself. Even after thoroughly understanding all the rule models in the martial arts 11th rank chapter, it's not possible to spread it out. Understanding is one thing, communicating and spreading it is another. Just like the 9 ultimate beings of human civilization, all have the comprehension of the 6th realm in space-time, but they cannot perfectly complete the rule models from the 1st to the 9th realm of space-time. Unless one can reach the level of Lin Yuan in rule comprehension, even if one watches all the rule models, they cannot talk about it, at most they can only know it themselves. Therefore, the only way for other alien races to obtain the martial arts 11th rank chapter is to blend into human civilization, disguised as human evolutionists, and buy it in the official virtual world. But the risk is too high. The virtual world of human civilization is extremely strict in screening alien identities. Out of 100 alien spies infiltrating, probably not even one can survive the initial screening. Those infiltrated alien spy assassins are essentially dead men, already prepared to be discovered by human civilization at any moment, resulting in their cloned originals all dying and falling. The martial arts 11th rank chapter is most useful to 11th level beings, but an 11th level alien infiltrating human civilization? Each 11th level in human civilization is numbered and watched by the ultimate beings, and it's impossible for a new 11th level to sneak in unnoticed. As for those exceptional geniuses from other races, alien races would not allow their geniuses to risk their cloned originals dying to infiltrate human civilization to obtain the martial arts 11th rank chapter. The opening and completion of the martial arts 11th rank chapter indicates that the Galaxy Master is not far from reaching the 12th level, Xinyuan Supreme said with expectation and a smile. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 938 The 11th Level Citizen of the 10th Rank of Human Civilization, please subscribe. In the gloomy Grand Hall, more than a dozen transcendent beings of the 12th tier were assembled. An ultimate aura pervaded the air, and even just a 12th tier incarnation could unleash an extremely terrifying combat power, far surpassing Lin Yuan's performance in the super-large battlefield. This is the 12th tier ultimate, the life atop the universe. The evolutionary pathway of human civilization's martial Tao, after surpassing the 11th tier, actually goes beyond the 4 major 12th tier evolutionary pathways, becoming the 5th evolutionary pathway. The Tianyu clan's ancestor spoke with a slightly grave tone, as many ultimate 12th tier beings rarely gather together unless it involves major events that affect the cosmic pinnacle race's affairs. The evolutionary pathway of martial Tao has clearly touched the bottom line of various pinnacle races, with just the 11th tier of the martial Tao evolutionary pathway ranking within the top 5 of all human civilizations' evolutionary pathways. What does this mean? It's simply ridiculous. What exactly do the 9 12th tier humans of human civilization want to do, allowing a mere 11th tier evolutionary pathway to surpass the 12th tier pathways? A certain queen of the insect race furrowed her brows, utterly disbelieving the ranking of the martial Tao evolutionary pathway. The so-called ranking list, isn't it all decided by those few 12th tier humans? As long as they wish, even a first-tier chapter can be placed above a 12th tier pathway. But is this reality? The gap between the 11th tier and the 12th tier is countless times greater than that between the first tier and 11th tier. It's the difference between life within the river and life outside the river. Sar the novel at website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The ultimate 12th tier stands on the shores, theoretically with infinite lifespan, whereas 11th tier beings, in the eyes of the ultimate 12th tier, they are but ants trapped in the river. I know Xianyuan Xiaqin and others quite well. They would not engage in such flashy but useless actions. The advancement of the martial Tao evolutionary pathway beyond the 4 grand 12th tier pathways must have a reason. The Yu clan ultimate slowly spoke. The first 12th tier Xianyuan supreme of human civilizations sought the protection of the Yu clan when striving for ultimacy. Over 2 million years have passed, and although the Xianyuan supreme has long repaid the Yu clan's favor, he still maintains a good relationship with several of the Yu clan's ultimates. The skirmishes between humans and the Yu clan are also the least. Of course, if it involves clan interests, killings will still occur. Lin Yuan has killed no few 11th tier Yu clansmen in super large battlefields, and the Xianyuan supreme has not specifically hindered it. I agree as well. There is no need for 12th tier humans of human civilization to fabricate such things. It's meaningless. The supreme of the Star Alliance continued, what's the point of forcefully pushing the martial Tao evolutionary pathway to be the 5th evolutionary pathway of human civilization? To show them? If no new 12th tier ultimates emerge for a long time, such an act would be but a joke. In fact, to verify it, one only needs to observe the martial Tao first tier chapter. The ultimate of the prison tribe spoke. At these words, the other 12th tier ultimates looked at each other, not immediately responding. All 11 pinnacle race powers have planted spies and assassins within human civilization, masquerading as humans and lurking. If a remarkable evolutionary prodigy appears within human civilization, they would activate an assassin to go for the kill. Or if they wish to obtain some other information, they can have these spies scouted out. However, arranging these spies within human civilization has cost each pinnacle race's powers greatly. Slipping past the selection of the 3 goddesses is no easy feat. The subtext of the prison tribe ultimate's words was to have each pinnacle power use their spies infiltrated in human civilization to purchase the martial Tao first tier chapter. How martial Tao's evolutionary pathway truly is, one only needs to see it for oneself. Yet, to do so carries great risk. First off, to purchase the martial Tao first tier chapter? It's not something just any spy can buy. They need at least 10th layer strength and sufficiently high clearance. But to arrange a 10th tier transcendent being of another race within human civilization? The price paid is likely many times more than training an 11th tier powerhouse. Such high-level spies would definitely not be used unless necessary. Any contact could lead to exposure. Well then, I will do it. The Tianyu clan's ancestor fell silent for a moment, then began to make contact with his eyes closed. Human civilization and the Tianyu clan harbored deep hatred, and he too was eager to know what the martial Tao evolutionary pathway was all about. A moment later, the Tianyu clan's ancestor opened his eyes, his expression revealing an ounce of the incomprehensible. What happened? The other 12th tier ultimates immediately inquired. The expression of the Tianyu clan's ancestor suddenly shifted, and then quickly darkened. Because just now, he felt that the 10th tier Tianyu clan member arranged within human civilization had died inexplicably, and it was the kind of death from memory contamination beyond the possibility of revival even by reversing the flow. Those few 12th-tier humans must be specifically targeting anyone who purchases the Martial Tao first-tier chapter, the Tianyu clan ancestor immediately speculated. Otherwise, the death would not have been so swift. Even if something unusual was detected, it should be contained first, to directly kill, and moreover, a thorough kind of killing through memory contamination. However, compared to the message left by the spy of the Tianyu clan before death, the Tianyu clan ancestor didn't have the time to be angry. Instead, he looked towards the surrounding 12th-tier ultimates and spoke directly without beating around the bush. The Martial Tao first-tier chapter is not simple. It contains thousands of rule models that incorporate fusion rules, along with complete models of the rules from the first realm to the fifth realm of spacetime. The Tianyu clan ancestor spoke gravely. Thousands of models that incorporate fusion rules? Complete spacetime first realm to fifth realm rule models? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 939, the 11th level citizen of the 10th rank of human civilization. Please subscribe. Part 2. The remaining 12-star ultimates were immediately shocked, realizing too well the impact these rule models could have on a species. Where are those rule models? Have they been replicated? The insect queen quickly asked. Unable to replicate, the person I arranged to purchase the level 11 chapter died completely after leaving the information. The Tianyu clan ancestor spoke briefly. I also sent someone to buy. The insect queen and other 12-star ultimates immediately made contact. If what the Tianyu clan ancestor said was true, even if it meant sacrificing a 10th level spy, they needed to confirm it. Shortly after, one by one, the 12-star ultimates opened their eyes. They soon discovered that the spies who purchased the level 11 chapter also died completely. However, they did not care about these because the information the spies sent back matched what the Tianyu clan ancestor had said. So many rule models? And a spatiotemporal fusion rule model? Who on earth is the founder of the Martial Tao evolutionary path? Is there a problem with the rule models in the level 11 chapter? After all, we haven't seen those rule models with our own eyes. The possibility of a problem is low. The fact that human civilization dares to openly publicize the Martial Tao Level 11 chapter means it has widespread applicability, suitable for the majority of life forms to comprehend. Search * the Oval Fire. Et website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The 12-star ultimates quickly exchanged messages. Rule models are not textual information. Even if seen a few times, they cannot be described, written down, or spread. But all the peak species factions, spies who purchased the level 11 chapter left the same information, plus the continuous dissemination of the Martial Tao level 11 chapter within human civilization. It led each 12-star ultimate to realize that those rule models were real. Who exactly is it? Who on earth created the Martial Tao evolutionary path? Xianyuan Supreme? Impossible, he doesn't have the ability. From the first realm to the fifth realm of time and space rule models, even a peak path-splitting realm cannot perfect it. Many 12-star ultimates felt a mix of shock and anger. With these rule models, the evolutionary path of human cultivators will be much simpler than theirs from different species, increasing the number of level 11 perfects and the likelihood of birthing an ultimate. The most critical point is, who exactly is the founder who created the Martial Tao evolutionary path? Search at all costs. Yes, we must find out the identity of this founder of the evolutionary path. The dozen or so 12-star ultimates glanced at each other and their forms quickly vanished. They had already returned to their clans, using all their intelligence and information capabilities to search for information about the founder of the Martial Tao evolutionary path. Xianhuang's secret realm. Lin Yuan introspects the changes in his internal world. In just a few days, his internal world had expanded again, from the original 2 light-years in diameter to 2. 1 light years. Do not underestimate the mere increase of 0. 1. Keep in mind the unit here is light years. Chaos rule. Lin Yuan carefully sensed, after comprehending the chaos rule, his perspective on the rules of the world around him changed, viewing them from a more fundamental level. This world tree. Lin Yuan's gaze landed on the towering giant tree at the center of his internal world. At this moment, between the branches and leaves of the world tree, many fruits were formed, each containing a miniaturized world within, offering many benefits for 7th-layer evolvers to advance their internal worlds in advance. According to the records of the profound Xianhuang, a strong practitioner in the chaos realm can mobilize a great amount of chaotic power, nurturing the world tree to transform into a chaos tree. If the world tree is considered an 11-star superior treasure, then the chaos tree is a 12-star superior treasure, and even for a chaos realm strong practitioner, it requires a great deal of time and energy to nurture a chaos tree. Let's try it now. Lin Yuan immediately began operating the chaos rule, gathering chaotic power to nurture the world tree. The uses of the chaos tree are too many. It can preside over the internal universe and even enable the internal universe to expand outwardly. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan glanced at his own merit points balance. 100 trillion and 1,500 trillion. The 100 trillion merit points were earned by Lin Yuan for uploading the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter, and the excess 1,500 trillion came from earlier. Directly promote to a 10th level citizen. Lin Yuan thought to himself. For 9th level citizens to be promoted to 10th level citizens, it costs 500 billion merit points. And for 10th level citizens to be promoted to 11th level citizens, it requires spending 500 trillion merit points. So far, the 11th level citizen is already the highest level citizen within human civilization, with only 9 supreme beings having achieved this level. Let alone 11th level citizens, even 10th level citizens. Since the opening of the Starry Sea era, only Lin Yuan himself gathered enough merit points to promote. The 10th level citizens of human civilization were ancient citizens before the Starry Sea era, where the citizen promotion system was different from now, and much simpler. Now, with over 100 trillion merit points, Lin Yuan meets the requirements for promotion to an 11th tier citizen. As for other requirements for becoming an 11th level citizen, such as needing the consensus of the 9 supreme beings, there are naturally no problems either. So, with the consumption of 500 trillion merit points, the citizen level of Lin Yuan also changed from 10th level to 11th level. No emails have come through? Lin Yuan raised his eyebrows. Previously, when his citizen level was promoted, numerous emails would be sent from the Central Star domain, introducing him to many benefits and treatments. When he was promoted from 9th level citizen to 10th level citizen, the president of human civilization even personally contacted Lin Yuan to congratulate him on becoming a 10th level citizen. But now being promoted to an 11th level citizen? Just then, a video request came through. Lin Yuan took a glance, his expression turning solemn immediately. Xianyuan Supreme. Lin Yuan chose to accept the call, and it was indeed the Xianyuan Supreme on the video. The first and also the strongest among the human civilization supremes. If there were no Xianyuan Supreme, even if human civilization had emerged as the last victor from the countless eons challenges emanating from beyond the universe, it would be possible to be divided and consumed by various 12-tier ultimate beings. Lin Yuan. The Xianyuan Supreme was smiling, a middle-aged man with an ancient-looking face, his gaze warm as he looked at Lin Yuan. Are you wondering why there hasn't been any other email notifications after your promotion to 11th level citizen? Lin Yuan listened attentively. Even though his current combat strength was not weaker than those in the normal path-splitting realm, in front of the first supreme of human civilization, he still held great respect. Haha. Xianyuan Supreme laughed. Actually, neither the 3 goddesses nor we had anticipated that the next 11th level citizen would appear so quickly. So there was no preparation. Not all supremes are 11th level citizens. Even though the 10th supreme being was born within human civilization, to become an 11th level citizen still requires gathering the corresponding merit points, though Supremes earn these points at an astonishing speed. Yet, even with that rate, gathering 500 trillion merit points still requires a lot of time, and possibly battling with alien 12th-tier beings. According to the speed of Supremes like Xia Qin and others being promoted to 11th level citizens, a newly promoted Supreme would need at least 500,000 to 1 million years to smoothly advance to 11th level citizen. I also did not anticipate that the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter would be worth so many merit points. Lin Yuan immediately said. 100 trillion merit points indeed exceeded Lin Yuan's expectations. Your Martial Tao 11th tier chapter will have a profound impact on human civilization. Even 100 trillion merit points are too few. Xia Qin Supreme shook his head and said. Speaking of which, thanks to the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter, our human civilization has uncovered more than a dozen deeply hidden spies. A smile appeared on Xia Qin Supreme's face. Spies? Lin Yuan immediately understood. It must have been using the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter as bait to fish for those alien spies. I digress. Xianyuan Supreme looked at Lin Yuan and said, I came to see you personally to tell you about the powers that our human civilization's 11th tier citizens will enjoy. 11th tier citizens have unprecedented influence on human civilization, so as an 11th level citizen, you can take away any treasure you want from the human civilization treasury as long as you need it. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 940 An Opportunity Falls from the Sky. Please subscribe. Can I take away the treasures from the human civilization treasury? Lin Yuan couldn't help but hold his breath. Take away, as mentioned by the Xianyuan Supreme, probably does not require any merit points. It means he can take them as needed. One must know that human civilization is the peak of all races. The treasury of human civilization has recorded many 12-star rare treasures. Yes, as long as you find it necessary, you can directly transfer them, nodded the Xianyuan Supreme. Thank you, Supreme, said Lin Yuan. Although most treasures in the human civilization's treasury are of little use to Lin Yuan. The resources to cultivate the body of Xian Huang to level 11 perfect? Even if he drained all the resources of the entire universe, it would still be far from enough. The entire treasure trove of human civilization is nothing but a drop in the bucket to him. But the Xianyuan Supreme is unaware of this. Since Xianyuan Supreme has said so, he must be prepared for a significant shrinkage in the rare treasures of the human civilization's treasury. As long as you can successfully enter the 12-star level, whatever the cost to our human civilization, it will be worth it, said the Xianyuan Supreme. In planning on making my ultimate breakthrough after some time, Lin Yuan nodded, feeling the expectation that Xianyuan Supreme had for him. Before making the ultimate breakthrough, remember to use the few protective treasures in the treasury, reminded the Xianyuan Supreme. In the treasury of human civilization, there exist some treasures that aid in making the ultimate breakthrough, like the source of the universe previously obtained by Lin Yuan, which can increase the timeline foundation of the world within his body. There are also other treasures similar to the source of the universe that those 11-star perfect ancient gods in the depths of cosmic starry skies desire immensely. Previously, the Tuoba ancient god would rather offend Lin Yuan, an exceptional talent of human civilization, in the hopes of extorting one such rare treasure. Understood, Lin Yuan nodded. After being promoted to level 11 citizen, Lin Yuan's personal authority reached the highest in human civilization, enabling him to view any treasure information. Also, when you're ready for the ultimate breakthrough, make sure to tell us so we can guard against those alien 12-star beings, the Xianyuan Supreme said. The transition from level 11 to 12-star, after the ultimate leap, means that one's life essence and everything about oneself step out of the river of time and can't be interfered with or affected, even by the Supreme. However, before that, enduring the infusion of the Chaos Void origin, if the 12-star ultimate discovery is made in time, it's still possible to have an influence on it. Of course, it's only a possibility. But Lin Yuan is crucial to human civilization, so naturally, the Xianyuan Supreme wants to eliminate all possibilities. Sure. Lin Yuan nodded. When advancing to the 10th and 11th levels, there were Supremes protecting him. It will be no different when attempting to reach the 12-star level. Then continue your cultivation, and if you have any requests, just speak to me or Xia Qin, said the Xianyuan Supreme before ending the video call. The ultimate breakthrough? Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, beginning to browse through the many treasures in the human civilization treasury. Ordinary rare treasures, even those of the 12-star level, had little effect on Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan mainly focused on the treasures mentioned by the Xianyuan Supreme that aid in the ultimate breakthrough. These rare treasures, Lin Yuan glanced over them and shook his head slightly. The rare treasures in the human civilization that aid in the ultimate breakthrough would surely be a godsend to any ordinary 11-star perfect powerhouse. But to Lin Yuan, they had almost no effect. The support treasures for the ultimate breakthrough also come in different grades, with the heart of space-time left by the Moyu Tower Master being of the highest grade, while others like the source of the universe are of medium grade. The normal probability for an 11-star being to make the ultimate breakthrough ranges from 1 in 10,000 to 1 in a million. In such cases, even the lowest grade of ultimate breakthrough aiding treasures can have a substantial impact. But Lin Yuan? His chances of making the ultimate breakthrough might probably be as high as 95 or even 97 to 98%. With Lin Yuan's accumulated foundation, even the highest grade support treasures like the Heart of Space-Time would have limited effect on him, and the other auxiliary treasures in the treasury would not be much help at all. It's not hard to go from 1 in 10,000 to 2 in 10,000, but going from 98% to 99% is as hard as ascending to the heavens. In fact, even among those 11-star beings in the chaos void with immense backgrounds, the probability of making an ultimate breakthrough does not exceed 20%. Lin Yuan's ability to reach 95% is solely due to his understanding of the chaos rule and the 7th realm of space-time, among other factors. Let these auxiliary rare treasures be left for the later evolutionaries attempting the 12-star breakthrough, Lin Yuan thought to himself. A virtual world. Lin Yuan was having a casual chat with his parents and his sister Lin. Brother, have you heard? The martial Tao evolutionary pathway is now ranked 5th among the human civilization's evolutionary pathways. The origin planet of the martial Tao lineage is even Kanglin star. Lin Yi said excitedly. The hottest topic in human civilization currently is definitely the martial Tao evolutionary pathway. Merely an 11-star evolutionary pathway, and yet it ranks 5th among humans, surpassing the 4 great supreme pathways? Even the most ordinary citizens are aware of what this means. Lin Yi felt the same way. Initially, Lin Yuan had asked her if she wanted to pursue the path of martial Tao evolution, but Lin Yi didn't like the evolutionary pathways that required close-quarter combat and eventually chose the remote attack pathway of psychic evolution. As it turned out, Lin Yi's judgment was not quite up to par. Lin Yuan smiled. Not only did Kanglin star produce a peerless evolutionary genius like me, but it also has the martial Tao evolutionary pathway, TSKs. Lin Yi spoke with a tone of surprise, finding it too much of a coincidence. It is somewhat coincidental. Lin Yuan smiled faintly. In his heart, he had already predicted that some might connect him with the founder of the martial Tao evolutionary pathway. Under normal circumstances, as a peerless evolutionary genius, Lin Yuan became a level 11 evolver in less than a millennium, an invincible level 11 who overwhelmed and crushed the peak powers of other factions. That identity just did not match with that of a pathway founder. The creation of an evolutionary pathway requires a vast expenditure of time and effort. Merely being an unmatched level 11 evolver in less than a millennium is extraordinary enough, but the identity of the founder of the martial Tao pathway? Even though both originated from Kanglin star, initially no one connected the two. But as time passed, with the martial Tao pathway improving its rank and Lin Yuan's continuous promotion, within human civilization, evolutionists began to associate Lin Yuan with the founder of martial Tao. Now that the martial Tao evolutionary pathway has become the 5th pathway of human civilization, coupled with Lin Yuan's performances in the super large-scale battlefields, Even without inquiring, Lin Yuan knew that the rumors linking him and the founder of Martial Tao were growing. However, Lin Yuan wasn't too concerned about this. At his current level, even if he were to reveal his identity as the founder of Martial Tao, so what? With strength not inferior to that of the normal path-splitting realm, he could hardly die within this universe. Brother, what are you looking at? Seeing Lin Yuan gazing into the distance, Lin Yi couldn't help but ask curiously. Looking at what? Lin Yuan smiled faintly. I'm looking at what lies beyond the universe. Beyond the universe? Lin Yi blinked. Up till now, there were many areas within the human civilization territory that she didn't even know about, let alone beyond the universe. Beyond the universe. Chaos void. Lin Yuan, with an avatar condensed from chaos chi, slowed to a halt. I have finally escaped the influence of the universe. Lin Yuan looked back, and at this moment his home universe had shrunk to the size of a fist. Unknowingly, Lin Yuan had already left his home universe far behind. Even within the chaos void, universes are vast celestial bodies, and each universe influences a large surrounding area. And now Lin Yuan felt completely free from the influence of the main universe. The flow rate of time has changed. Lin Yuan concentrated on his senses, comparing with his true self's primordial spirit. The place he was in now had a slower flow of time, roughly at a ratio of 1 to 300 in comparison with the time flow inside the universe. In other words, 300 years pass in the main universe, and only 1 year goes by in the chaos void. The flow of time. The time flow rate in the chaos void is similar to that in that origin world. Lin Yuan thought to himself. After reaching the 7th realm, 33 world coordinates appeared within the depths of the myriad realms gate, each of them connecting to vast and expansive origin worlds. The first origin world explored by Lin Yuan had a time flow rate ratio of 1 to 300 compared to the main universe. Could the chaos void and that origin world be on the same level? Through the time flow rate ratio, Lin Yuan could make some deductions. Of course, these are just conclusions and not necessarily the truth. The time flow rate can only reflect the relative height of the world's level to a certain extent and is not absolute. Continue exploring then. Sar the novel at website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lin Yuan chose a direction and vanished, appearing millions of light years away in an instant. Chaos void is boundless and immense. Even with millions of light years traversed, the scenery around Lin Yuan had not changed, and likewise, no change was visible in the main universe behind him. The rules of the chaos void are more complete. The pressure to mobilize these rules will be greater. As he explored, Lin Yuan carefully perceived. If the many rules of the main universe are like an iron rod, then the rules of the chaos void are comparable to a heavenly pillar. Swinging an iron rod as opposed to a heavenly pillar naturally presents a chasm of difficulty. Therefore, in the chaos void, the destructive power of the strong ones from the main universe would greatly diminish. Of course, the more complete and vast chaos void provides a higher ceiling for any strong being. At least within the chaos void, stepping into the dominion realm is somewhat easier than within the confines of the universe. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Lin Yuan's form continuously disappeared and reappeared, crossing great distances. The chaos rules outside of the 7th realm of space-time allowed him to move through the chaos void with ease. Boom boom boom. Suddenly, Lin Yuan halted, turning his gaze towards a certain direction. A shooting star was rapidly falling from above, predicted to pass by Lin Yuan's current location. Lin Yuan observed the shooting star. There are fluctuations of an item's aura. Does it contain many 12-star rare treasures? Could my luck really be this good? Lin Yuan quietly mused. Just casually sending out an avatar for exploration and encountering a chance event of treasures falling from the sky? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 941 Taiyuan Relic, Please subscribe. Gazing at the meteor rushing toward him, Lin Yuan's eyes shone brightly. Though the chaos void contains countless opportunities, it is extremely rare, like in Lin Yuan's case, to have fortune hurl itself at him not long after beginning his exploration. It is indeed exceedingly uncommon. Since the birth of the universe where human civilization resides, there have been numerous occasions where treasures and rare legacies have fallen from the eternal spatial rift. That is because the universe itself, within the depths of the chaos void, is akin to a massive celestial body, invisibly influencing the space-time of the vast surrounding area. Any object passing nearby will be drawn by the universe's own gravity, eventually falling through the eternal spatial rift into the universe. Given the enormous size of the universe and the passage of enough time, it is only normal for it to net some of the treasures drifting in its vicinity. But Lin Yuan? Compared to the main universe, he is far too insignificant, making the probability of randomly encountering such a treasure incredibly low. According to the trajectory of this meteor, it will pass close to the main universe. At that time, it might be influenced by the main universe and, after billions of years, plummet into one of the eternal spatial rifts, becoming an opportunity descended from outside the universe? Lin Yuan thought to himself that, in some ways, he was now intercepting the ultimate opportunities within the main universe. Let's try to stop it ahead of time. Lin Yuan carefully observed the meteor. There are flows of formation energy. This meteor must be the dwelling of some powerful being. It is true that in the chaos void, there are naturally occurring powerful formations. But the might of these types of killing formations is extraordinarily great, and the formation energy within the meteor is far inferior to those spawned by chaos. Therefore, Lin Yuan deduced that this meteor is likely the dwelling of some formidable entity, as formations laid out by hand are typically used as dwellings. The owner of the dwelling must be gone. Lin Yuan drew more conclusions. If the owner of the dwelling were still there, he wouldn't be able to see this meteor at all. Any dwelling would certainly value secrecy and would usually be tucked deep within multiple layers of space-time. Even those rare moving dwellings would try their best to conceal their aura. The chaos void might hold countless opportunities, but it also contains many dangers. During his exploration, this avatar of Lin Yuan was also extremely cautious. The onrushing meteor, with its aura exposed, shows that it is not being controlled by anyone. The vortex of space-time. With a flicker of thought, Lin Yuan started to perceive the seventh realm of space-time, attempting to halt the meteor on its predicted path. As an avatar, there's not much Lin Yuan can do. To directly block the meteor? At its current speed, Lin Yuan's avatar would likely be instantly obliterated upon impact. He could only attempt indirect obstruction, influencing the meteor as it flew along its path. This method wouldn't stop the meteor quickly, but it can effectively slow it down, which is quite safe. The speed has decreased. Lin Yuan felt certain, his biggest concern being that the current attempts of using the space-time vortex would not affect the meteor much. But now, it seems the effect is quite significant. It is also because the power of space-time controlled by Lin Yuan's seventh realm is abundant. If it were those at the 12-star ultimate level within the main universe, relying only on the intuition of the sixth realm of space-time, the influence on the meteor would be much less. According to the current rate, at most in half a day, the meteor will come to a complete halt. Lin Yuan thought to himself, swiftly controlling the power of space-time to obstruct the meteor. Half a day later, the swiftly approaching meteor gradually slowed down and finally came to a gentle stop before Lin Yuan. Standing nearby, Lin Yuan could finally see the full view of the meteor, which is a massive island with a diameter exceeding 10 million miles from the outside. In the center of the island stands a palace, surrounded by rolling mountains and continuous lakes. 18 12-star mystical trees? Lin Yuan noticed at once, nearby the central palace, trees with the aura of 12-star levels swaying in the breeze. The fruits growing on the branches emitted powerful energetic auras. Struck gold. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. Compared to 12-star weapons materials and such, these 12-star mystical trees that can bear spirit fruit are akin to money trees, producing highly valuable spirit fruit at regular intervals. Besides these 18 mystical trees, the island itself is also a rare material. Even though it is just at the threshold of the 12-star level, the quantity is substantial, a full 10 million miles in circumference. The control core of this dwelling should be within that palace. Lin Yuan paid no heed to the 18 mystical trees surrounding the palace. The remnants of space-time power near these trees were likely left by the owner of the dwelling. The simplest way to get past these space-time barriers is to refine the control core of the island. Thus the entire island would fall under Lin Yuan's control. Let's go! Sir the Ovalfire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lin Yuan split himself in two. Being an avatar formed from chaos chi, as long as he split off another sliver of spiritual will, he easily created a new avatar. Without knowing whether there were dangers within the palace, it was natural for Lin Yuan to make an extra preparation. The avatar Lin Yuan had split off descended onto the island, making its way toward the central palace. This palace does not seem to have any obstructions. Lin Yuan sized up the palace, cautiously observed for a while, and then walked in. The palace was vast, and Lin Yuan swiftly toured it, finally arriving at a certain inner temple. Here a 12-edged crystal stone was suspended, seemingly the convergence point of the entire giant island's energy. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 942 Taiyuan Relic, please subscribe, _2" This must be the control core of the cave dwelling. Lin Yuan thought to himself as he immediately began to try touching and refining the crystal stone. Right at this moment, boom, the entire palace suddenly rumbled. The originally tranquil 12-sided crystal stone started to glow, an invisible aura converged, forming a round and rawly figure. This figure had short limbs, looking like a meatball with round goggling eyes. Once the figure appeared, it stretched lazily and looked towards Lin Yuan. Sarch * the Nelfer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Is this the master of the cave dwelling? Lin Yuan was incredibly cautious at heart, ready to disperse this incarnation at any moment. Don't worry, my true self died a long time ago, what remains here is just a brand. The round and rawly figure spoke, using the universal language of the chaos void. Even without having learned it, one could understand and communicate with it spontaneously. I've seen the senior. Lin Yuan immediately said. A so-called brand is hardly even a spirit or will, it's merely a piece of information, a trace that's left behind. Ah, if only I had known not to go to those Taiyuan ruins. Sure enough, my true self didn't make it out alive. The round and rawly figure sighed and muttered to itself. Taiyuan ruins? Lin Yuan listened from not far away, and a surge of turmoil arose in his heart. Even having never left the main universe, he had heard of the name of the Taiyuan ruins, a notorious dangerous place in the chaos void, and of course, also one of the greatest opportunities. The extraterrestrial aurora that had previously fallen into the main universe, as well as that white paper, originated from the Taiyuan ruins. Many opportunities and legacies within the main universe have mentioned the name of the Taiyuan ruins. But I still couldn't help myself. After all, there exists traces near to a perfect time being. I was trapped at the peak of the sovereign realm for dozens of cosmic eras. If I obtained some opportunities inside, I would have had a complete hope to step into the chaos realm. The round and rawly figure talked to itself, its words tinged with regret. The peak of the sovereign realm? Lin Yuan inwardly gasped upon hearing this. The 12th rank is divided into 3 levels: path splitting, sovereign, and chaos. The peak of the sovereign realm, even in the chaos void, is considered a powerful being. In the profound Shenhuang lineage, during the heyday of the magic Jade Tower, there were only so many powerful beings at the peak of the sovereign realm. But that such a powerful being had died in the Taiyuan secret realm. Lin Yuan couldn't believe that a being of this level didn't have any life-saving means. Even if their true form perished, it would be very difficult to die completely, but according to the round and Raleigh figure's implication, it apparently had indeed died completely. Successor, which chaos era is it now? The round and Raleigh figure looked at Lin Yuan and said, "Which chaos era?" Lin Yuan was slightly stunned and hesitated for a moment before replying, "Senior, I am not sure." Having stepped out of the main universe not long ago, he naturally didn't know what time period the chaos void was in. "You don't know." The round and Raleigh figure's brow furrowed slightly. Almost any life from the chaos void would basically know about the chaos era. Lin Yuan didn't know? "I am not a being born in the chaos void, rather I come from a universe." Lin Yuan thought for a moment and spoke the truth. "From a universe?" The round and Raleigh figure's expression was puzzled. "Did your universe undergo a great destruction?" "Not yet," Lin Yuan said. "It hasn't been greatly destroyed. How did you leave?" The round and Raleigh figure looked carefully at Lin Yuan, its expression becoming more and more surprised. "Have you reached the seventh realm in the comprehension of space-time?" "Tithi, no wonder you can send out an avatar to explore the chaos void. Only with such advanced comprehension of space-time could you... No, this avatar of yours, is it condensed from chaos chi? Have you grasped the chaos rule?" The round and Raleigh figure was dumbfounded. As a powerful being at the pinnacle of the sovereign realm, it certainly knew how beings inside universes operated. Even at the 12th rank, one likely wouldn't live beyond a cosmic era. Because when a cosmic era ends, 12th rank mighty beings must experience the great destruction along with the universe. A typical path splitting 12th rank would have to die in large numbers just to get through it, to formally enter the chaos void. And Lin Yuan has yet to experience the great calamity of destruction, yet his understanding of space-time has reached the 7th realm? And he's even comprehended the chaos rule? The former is easy to explain, but the latter? To comprehend the chaos rule is one of the most difficult thresholds when a ruler steps into the chaos realm. It was precisely for the chance to comprehend the chaos rule that he ventured into the Taiyuan ruins. "I was rather lucky and happened to comprehend it." Lin Yuan hesitated for a moment before speaking up. The plump figure saw that Lin Yuan's understanding of space-time had reached the 7th realm, which did not surprise him. After all, the space-time rule he deployed to stop the island just now belonged to the space-time rule of the 7th realm. It was evident when the plump figure at least resumed control over the island. According to the information left by the profound Xianhuang lineage and the magic Jade Tower, comprehending the 7th realm of space-time is exceptionally rare for the beings within the universe, but somewhat easier within the chaos void. Normally, a peak expert of the path-splitting realm would have the hope of reaching the understanding of the 7th realm of space-time. For a ruler, their understanding of space-time starts at the 7th realm. But the chaos rule? That is quite rare indeed. Many peak rulers have not grasped it. Within one cosmic era, merely at the path-splitting realm, to have comprehended the chaos rule. Incredible, truly incredible. The plump figure fell silent for a moment, his face revealing an expression of astonishment. In fact, if he knew that Lin Yuan was merely at the 11th layer and not at the 12th layer of the path-splitting realm, he would probably be even more astoundingly shocked. If it said that reaching the understanding of the chaos rule at the path-splitting realm has some rumors in the vast chaos void, it's always been the protégés cultivated by the peak beings of the chaos realm with endless efforts. Then comprehending the chaos rule at the 11th layer would completely surpass the understanding of the plump figure. Even existences like His Majesty Xianhuang, the Moyu Tower Master, had only heard of it. "I never thought that I, Song Weiyang, having been dead for who knows how many eons, would still witness such a genius," the plump figure remarked with emotion in his voice. The lives he knew that had comprehended the chaos rule at the path-splitting realm were all cultivated with great effort by those chaos great saints, but Lin Yuan? The legacies accessible to the beings of the universe are extremely limited. Under such circumstances, to still have comprehended the chaos rule, the plump figure didn't know how to describe it. Lin Yuan listened in silence below without saying a word. Although he was only an 11th layer being with a spirit and will reaching 40 million points, coupled with the enveloping chaos aura, it was very difficult for others to see through his actual realm. Within an era at the level of the path-splitting realm, to comprehend the chaos rule, you should have a great chance of stepping into the chaos realm in the future, the plump-figured Song Weiyang said. In fact, even those disciples cultivated by the chaos great saints wouldn't dare to claim they could surely enter the chaos realm. Comprehending the chaos rule is only one of the thresholds to step into the chaos realm. But Lin Yuan is different from those disciples. In Song Weiyang's view, Lin Yuan's potential was unfathomably higher than theirs, which was why he said there was a great hope for entering the chaos realm. The phrase, "a great hope," was already the highest compliment from the plump figure. "The chaos realm is too far away for me," Lin Yuan said beside. He's currently only at the 11th layer, he'd first need to step into the path-splitting realm. Too far? The plump-figured Song Weiyang glanced at Lin Yuan. Alright, let's talk about serious matters. The plump-figured Song Weiyang composed himself. This cave dwelling is one of the 3 I often use for closed-door cultivation, holding 18 trees at the ruler level and 3 ruler realm secret treasures, as well as 1 chaos realm secret treasure. Besides, it contains many of the secret techniques I practiced. 3 ruler realm secret treasures? 1 chaos realm secret treasure? Lin Yuan inwardly exclaimed. Treasures at the 12th layer also come in various levels, ranging from low to high. Path-splitting weapons and treasures, ruler weapons and treasures, chaos weapons and treasures. The strongest weapons in the main universe, 12th layer weapons, are all path-splitting level weapons, and the clan suppression weapons of the peak clans are merely the peak path-splitting treasures or special path-splitting treasures. Logically speaking, since this cave dwelling holds many of my legacies and treasures, I would certainly choose an heir for myself, undergoing many trials, making numerous vows before I hand over everything to him. The plump-figured Song Weiyang paused for a moment before speaking in a complex tone, but I feel I'm not qualified to take you as my protégé. So, everything in the cave dwelling, I'll give it all to you. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 943 Overflowing Abundance, please subscribe. Gifted to me? Lin Yuan looked at the round corpulent figure. Everything on the island, the 18 dominating realm bizarre trees, 3 dominating realm secret treasures, and 1 chaos realm secret treasure, all given to him? Haha, if it weren't for the fact that most of the treasures were taken into the Taiyuan relic by my true body, what you could have received would be 10 times more. The round corpulent figure, Song Weiyang said nonchalantly. However, I have one request, the round corpulent figure began. Please speak, senior, Lin Yuan immediately responded. If one day in the future, you become a chaos great saint, could you go to a place and take on a disciple? The round corpulent figure said. This is just a request, and if you aren't interested by then, you need not do it. Senior, you think too highly of me. Lin Yuan sighed. A chaos great saint? What is a great saint? Only the likes of His Majesty Shen Huang and Moyu Tower Master, who are at the pinnacle of the chaos realm, are qualified to be known as great saints. They are magnificent beings capable of pursuing a life near perfect time, with abilities that reach unimaginable extents, so much so that Lin Yuan suspects that these 2 great saints haven't completely perished. Otherwise, why has the Shen Huang evolutionary path not yet birthed a 12th layer? And as for the evolutionary path that Moyu Tower Master took, Lin Yuan still remains unaware, nor has the stone statue Shinji ever mentioned anything about the Moyu Tower Master's evolutionary path to Lin Yuan. This is just my request, but it is up to you whether you undertake it or not, said the round corpulent figure, Song Weiyang. Sar the Nellfire. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. All right. Lin Yuan nodded. If he really becomes a chaos great saint, traversing the chaos void will just be a thought away. Taking on a disciple wouldn't be difficult at all. Then all that I have is entrusted to you. The round corpulent figure smiled, then its entire form transformed into a strong light, as numerous pieces of information flooded into Lin Yuan's mind. 92 secret techniques? Are they all dominating realm secret techniques? Lin Yuan quickly absorbed all the information. Chaos Origin Secret Skills? The Chaos Origin Secret Skills, a unique secret technique obtained by Song Weiyang, can mask one's own aura, such that even strong beings of the Chaos realm might not notice unless they observe carefully. The information left by Song Weiyang suggested that Lin Yuan first cultivate this Chaos Origin Secret Skills. After all, the occurrence of someone from the Dao realm deducing the chaos rule within the universe is too shocking. Lin Yuan, coming from within the universe and lacking any background, would likely attract attention from some Chaos Realm powerhouses once this gets out. Of course, some of these attentions might be well-meaning, but there could also be malice, and before growing up, Song Weiyang advised Lin Yuan to try his best to conceal this matter. The origin of Chaos Stones comes from Chaos Realm powerhouses refining massive amounts of Chaos Qi, and the Chaos Qi within the stones can be directly absorbed. Whereas the floating Chaos Qi in the Chaos Void contains various types of energy, even Chaos Realm powerhouses can't directly absorb it. It is precisely because of the inherent value of Chaos Stones that they serve as the circulating currency in the Chaos Void. Ordinarily, in the Chaos Void, 100 Chaos Stones can be exchanged for a regular path-splitting realm secret treasure. But the palace has over 10,000 Chaos Stones left. 10,000 plus Chaos Stones could purchase 100 regular path-splitting realm secret treasures, but still far from enough to buy even one dominating realm treasure, hence Song Weiyang didn't mention it. I can feel that absorbing the Chaos Qi in the Chaos Stones would greatly assist the world inside me. Lin Yuan's eyes gleamed. Of course, currently being merely an incarnation, he couldn't bear to waste the Chaos Stones, planning to send them back to the main universe for his true body to try. This exploration of the Chaos Void has been of immense help to me. Lin Yuan looked energized, not to mention the 2 most precious dominating realm treasures and 1 Chaos Realm treasure, along with the 18 dominating realm mystical trees. Just those 7 supreme path-splitting realm weapons, along with 98 dominating realm secret techniques, had already greatly enhanced Lin Yuan's strength. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 944 The 12 Layers of Other Races. Please subscribe. The numerous weapons, treasures, and precious artifacts left by the peak dominator, Song Weiyang, greatly benefited Lin Yuan. In fact, this cave dwelling itself is also a precious treasure. It may not be anything special for a dominator, but within the universe, it is the strongest war machine that acts without any inhibitions. Even those at the 12th layer's ultimate level can do nothing about it. Lin Yuan thought to himself. At least under the control of an owner, even if dozens of those at the 12th layer's ultimate level join forces, they cannot shake it. Of course, to activate such a massive object, the energy consumption would be terrifying, and a common path-splitting realm would definitely not be able to withstand it. Send this cave dwelling and the gains back to the universe immediately. Lin Yuan stepped out of the cave dwelling and appeared in the Chaos Void. With a thought, he once again split off another incarnation. Immediately under Lin Yuan's control, the island of thousands of miles in radius quickly shrank to the size of a palm and fell into the hands of the newly split incarnation. The Chaos Void was fraught with peril, and this incarnation that Lin Yuan sent out was prepared to disperse at any moment. Xianxia the Novel Fire. Net * website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Thus, having gained something, he saw to it that it should be sent back quickly. Not to send it back. What if he encountered danger and the incarnation perished? Wouldn't all these treasures be lost? The treasures left by the peak dominator, Song Weiyang, are enough to make the ordinary dominators envious. For Lin Yuan, who just started exploring the Chaos Void, it is indeed the first gold. Swoosh! Under Lin Yuan's gaze, that incarnation quickly disappeared, heading back the way it came, rapidly approaching their home universe. Next, continue exploring. Lin Yuan was enthusiastic. For him at the moment, any little gain from the chaos void was satisfying, as it was his first exploration. Senior Zhang Weiyang indeed left me a map of the chaos void, but right now without any specific reference points, the map won't mean much. Lin Yuan thought, first, find the nearest chaos continent, and with this chaos continent as a reference point, I can also know what's nearby. The chaos void map comes in two types. One is public and the other is private. The latter is the map personally explored by each 12th layer powerhouse, not disclosed to the public, marked with many opportunities. The map left by Zhang Weiyang is a private map. And the chaos continent, it is where many lives converge within the chaos void. Most chaos continents are formed later, created by chaos realm powerhouses as their own territories. There is strict order within the chaos continent, because only with order can it attract a continuous influx of powerhouses. Without order, what difference would there be from the chaos void? As long as I determine which the nearest chaos continent is, the map left by Senior Zhang Weiyang becomes useful. Lin Yuan randomly chose a direction and quickly traveled through the void. Both Demon Jade Tower and Profound Shenhuang have left Lin Yuan maps of the chaos void. But both of these existed since ancient times, even though the maps left behind far exceed the detail of Zhang Weiyang's by many folds, they still do not hold much reference value. As cosmic eras pass by, even chaos continents governed by chaos realm powerhouses have their day of collapse. The regions marked on the map might not even exist now. Furthermore, the chaos void is too vast. Even someone as strong as a chaos great saint cannot explore it entirely. Even if the maps of chaos void left by Shenhuang and the Moyu Tower Master are still effective, whether they have markings of nearby areas is still questionable. Lin Yuan has seen the images of 33,333 Shenhuang secret realms created by Shenhuang. It was practically random development, and even Shenhuang himself might not know the locations of each Shenhuang secret realm. The Moyu Tower Master likely was similar. As a member of the Demon Jade Tower, Lin Yuan could vaguely sense the approximate location of the Demon Jade space in the Chaos Void, but it was only vague. Except for the direction, he was unclear about the distance. Compared to these two Chaos Great Saints, the map left by Zhang Weiyang turned out to be the most useful because Senior Zhang Weiyang was the weakest, and even if he perished, his cave dwelling wouldn't have gone far. And based on the traces of time passage marks on the cave dwelling, Lin Yuan judged that the uncontrolled time won't be too long, roughly 2 to 3 cosmic eras. 2 to 3 cosmic eras, for 12 flare powerhouses in the Chaos Void, it's not considered too long. Cosmic Starry Skies. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, with the 98 secret techniques left by Zhang Weiyang emerging in his mind. As of now, Lin Yuan has reached the pinnacle of the 11th layer, a true pinnacle. If not for his inner world still transforming, he would probably be preparing to break through to the ultimate. Therefore, Lin Yuan was quite free lately. Even the vast laws of the main universe and the Chaos Void could still help him, but his life level limited Lin Yuan's advancement. Merely at the life level of the 11th layer, even with an against heaven's understanding, he could not elevate his space-time comprehension to the 8th realm, nor elevate the chaos rule to the 2nd realm. However, the newly acquired 98 secret techniques were quite a surprise for Lin Yuan. Secret techniques are not evolutionary pathways, and their cultivation requirements are not strict. Of the 98 Dominator-level secret techniques, 6 are suitable for me. Lin Yuan thought that most of the secret techniques required the path-splitting realm for cultivation. Only 6 could be practiced at the 11th layer. Of these 6 secret techniques, 3 are offensive techniques, 1 is a defensive technique, and the remaining 2 are supportive techniques. Basically, all could have a significant effect on the current Lin Yuan. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 945 The 12 Layers of Other Races. Please subscribe. _2 Inchit is much simpler than the 3 Dao protecting secret skills of the profound Shenhuang lineage. As Lin Yuan mused, he began to comprehend them deeply. Your insight is against the natural order, comprehending the cycle of life and death seal, reaching level 11 perfect layer. Your insight is against the natural order, comprehending the falcon god's blade, reaching level 11 perfect layer. Your insight is against the natural order, comprehending the 9 refined feather kill, reaching level 11 perfect layer. In less than a month, Lin Yuan managed to enhance all the secret techniques he could practice to their limits. Among my many techniques, the physical body divine ability, Rend Heaven, is the strongest. Lin Yuan assessed himself. Rend Heaven is an extreme offensive technique with no superfluous effects, simply tearing apart everything before one's eyes. However, there are some restrictions on activating this physical body divine ability, so it still needs the support of many other secret techniques. Moreover, Rend Heaven as Lin Yuan's ultimate trump card is definitely reserved for the last crucial moment. With Lin Yuan's current profound foundation, a single strike of Rend Heaven is powerful enough to unleash a might of 1 million or even several million points of combat strength, and this is the pure Rend Heaven, without the enhancement of any supreme weapons. Even the ultimate avatar of the 12th layer can be easily torn apart before me, and even if they were of the 12th layer, they would likely be injured if they took it head-on. Lin Yuan gained a rough understanding of himself. Of course, this is the Rend Heaven divine skill utilized by his true body. If it were performed by his 2 great primordial spirits, the power would likely be somewhat diminished. The vast battlefield. Search * the novel, net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. An eternal spatial rift. A figure silently emerges. Every large battlefield is under the scrutiny of the ultimate peak of 12th layer, but this figure's aura merged with the depths of time and space, eluding even the perception of the ultimate apex of 12th layer. I have finally returned. The Taiyin primordial spirit appears and with a wave of his hand retrieves the avatar that brought back many gains. In the chaos void, Lin Yuan always felt a sense of danger, but within the confines of the universe, his heart was sure. This place could be said to be absolutely safe. Those who are at the level of Sovereign Realm and Chaos Realm cannot invade a universe. The Chaos Void has nurtured universes upon universes, and to invade one is akin to defying the will of the Chaos Void. Let's go. The Taiyin primordial spirit directly enters the Xianhuang's secret realm. In the deepest part of the secret realm, Lin Yuan's true body sits cross-legged. The Taiyin primordial spirit appears, with a palm-sized island floating before him. It is the cave mansion island of the peak sovereign realm powerhouse, Songwing. First, let's refine the weapons of the path-splitting realm. Lin Yuan immediately took out the few weapons of the path-splitting realm from the cave mansion and began to refine them quickly. As for treasures of the sovereign realm and chaos realm, with Lin Yuan's current strength, he is not yet qualified to refine them. Treasures of the sovereign realm and chaos realm have already birthed a spirit, possessing the ability to revive and inhale and exhale autonomously. That piece of white paper originating from the Taiyuan relics contains a 2-dimensional world within, capable of easily reducing everything nearby to lower dimensions. However, to reduce a sovereign realm treasure weapon to lower dimensions, the latter has a spirit and can resist and break free. A sovereign realm treasure weapon is already equivalent to half a living being. Therefore, the rare treasures within the 2-dimensional world of the white paper are mostly of the path-splitting 12th layer, with not a single treasure from the sovereign or chaos realm. Lin Yuan arrives at the cave mansion island and stands before the 18 peculiar trees. Each tree bears spirit fruits which contain tremendous energy. Lin Yuan picks all the spirit fruits and solemnly stores them away. These spirit fruits can be used for nourishment needed by the Xianhuang physique to enter the ultimate 12th layer of cultivation. Lin Yuan thought to himself. By now, he also knew how extremely difficult it was to cultivate the Xianhuang physique to level 12 perfect. The spirit of the Xianhuang secret realm had told Lin Yuan that a level 12 perfect Xianhuang physique could easily withstand the great destruction calamity of the universe. This was outright nonsense. If the Xianhuang physique reached level 12 perfect, such a degree of physical strength, even among the Chaos Great Saints, would be considered formidable, not to mention resisting a minor universal catastrophe. Such physical form wouldn't be affected in the slightest by the destruction of tens, hundreds, or even thousands of universes. Take it slow. Lin Yuan reined in his thoughts. Cultivating the Xianhuang physique to level 12 perfect required an abundance of resources, especially since Lin Yuan's foundational physical strength was extremely robust, necessitating even more resources than a typical level 12 perfect Xianhuang physique. But the chaos void is boundless and contains infinite resources. As long as Lin Yuan is strong enough, one day he will gather the necessary abundance. These strange trees can absorb chaos qi on their own. Lin Yuan observed the 18 peculiar trees, noting that their roots penetrated the depths of space-time, imbibing massive amounts of chaos qi at every moment. The chaos qi of the chaos void is incredibly violent and disordered, containing immense energy, which is why chaos stones containing stable and pure chaos qi are used as currency. Even the powerhouses of the chaos realm dare not recklessly absorb the chaos qi from the chaos void. Yet these 18 peculiar trees at the pinnacle of the ruler realm can actually assimilate such chaos qi? Your comprehension defies the heavens. Observing the process of chaos qi assimilation enhances your perception of the essence of chaos qi. Lin Yuan watched carefully as the essence of each wisp of chaos qi unraveled in front of him. Is it a special life structure? Lin Yuan pondered to himself. He felt that if he continued to ponder, he would be able to absorb any chaos qi without any concerns, just like these 18 peculiar trees. In the dim grand hall, more than 10 beings of different races who had reached level 12 gathered once again. How's the investigation? The ultimate being of the prison tribe looked around and directly asked. Since they parted last time, the level 12 apexes returned to their respective races and began a thorough investigation into the pathway of martial Tao evolution. If the information about the martial Tao first tier chapter was true, it would cause irreversible effects on their peak tribal forces, as the rate at which high-level evolvers of human civilization were born would be terrifyingly high. According to my tribe's intelligence, the likelihood that the founder of the martial Tao evolution pathway is the Galaxy Master is 95%, the ultimate being of the Tianyu clan spoke. Although the Galaxy Master is a peerless evolutionary genius and the path he's taken should be a complete and stable one, the fact that both the Galaxy Master and the martial Tao evolution pathway originated from Kanglin's star cannot be overlooked. Moreover, every time the Galaxy Master was about to advance to a higher level, new chapters of martial Tao evolution pathway would be uploaded, solidifying that the Galaxy Master was indeed the founder. The Galaxy Master is the founder of the martial Tao evolution pathway. My tribe predicted this result hundreds of years ago, said the ultimate being of the Cosmos tribe. The other level 12 apexes also appeared calm, displaying no surprise. It was not just their peak tribes that had noticed. Even within human civilization, as the Galaxy Master rapidly grew stronger, 8th layer, 9th layer, 10th layer, voices linking the Galaxy Master with the founder of martial Tao became louder and louder. Therefore, this matter was not a secret to the peak tribes. However, until the martial Tao evolution pathway had ascended to the level 11 pathway, the apexes of the different races at level 12 didn't take this pathway seriously. Even if the Galaxy Master truly was the founder of this evolution pathway, whether or not he could leverage it to step into level 12 was still an unknown. Of course. Besides that, there was also the matter of the Galaxy Master being too well protected by human civilization. In fact, since the martial Tao evolution pathway uploaded the 10th tier chapter and became the 10th evolution pathway of human civilization, some ultimate level 12 beings of the different races began to sense that something was amiss. But human civilization protected the Galaxy Master too well, and even if a level 12 being from another race was willing to forsake their pride and attack covertly, there was no opportunity. Many considerations later, the martial Tao evolution pathway advanced to the level 11 pathway, becoming the 5th evolution pathway of human civilization. Only at this moment did the level 12 apexes of different races realize the true potential and terror of the martial Tao evolution pathway. Now it's not a matter of knowing or not, but how to deal with it. The insect queen furrowed her brows. The fact that the Galaxy Master was the founder of the martial Tao evolution pathway was most troublesome for the insect race. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 946, Xia Qin, the Supreme Surprise. Please subscribe. What should we do? All the alien races at level 12 fell into silence. If the Galaxy Master were just an ordinary level 11, the ultimates of level 12 would have many strategies at their disposal. But on a super large battlefield, the Galaxy Master's power completely overshadows a regular level 11, and he can be considered the strongest level 11 since the birth of the universe. In light of this, dealing with the Galaxy Master is incredibly troublesome. After all, they are not facing just the Galaxy Master but also a human civilization and 9 peerless powerhouses of the same level. If the rules involved in the martial Tao level 11 are true, it means the Galaxy Master has reached an inconceivable realm in understanding the rules. Such a life form, once successfully stepping into level 12, will quickly grow to the pinnacle of the path-splitting realm. By then, it won't be about how we deal with the Galaxy Master anymore, but how the Galaxy Master deals with us. The prison tribe ultimate slowly spoke up. Honestly, if their tribal forces could produce a peak path-splitting realm powerhouse, their first action would be to sweep through all the major forces in the universe. However, the peak of the path-splitting realm is exceedingly difficult to reach. In dozens or hundreds of universes, there might only be one who can ascend to such a peak. Although the robber clan has 2 ultimates at the peak of the path-splitting realm, they are rejected by the will of the universe and dare not exert their full strength, thus they don't count as normal peak path-splitting realm powers. Peak of the path-splitting realm? Human civilization? The expression of the insect queen darkened further. By then, the insect race would surely face severe suppression from human civilization. Just the thought of a peak path-splitting realm powerhouse wielding a clan suppression weapon is enough to terrify her. The Galaxy Master is already a perfect level 11, and his true body will definitely be protected by human civilization. How should we handle him? The Yu clan ultimate said. Even if they wanted to deal with the Galaxy Master now, they would have to assess whether they had the capability. Curse to kill? Level 12 ultimates personally taking action could indeed curse and kill all avatars and true bodies of level 9 and 10 powerhouses, but since the Galaxy Master is level 11, even level 12 ultimates could not curse him to death, no matter the cost. Actually, it's not like there's no way. The prison tribe ultimate suddenly spoke, his gaze turning towards the insect queen. If I remember correctly, when a strange creature fell from outside the universe into it, didn't the myriad transformation queen take a drop of blood from that strange creature? In the early stages of the universe's formation, a strange creature fell into it, almost causing a mass extinction of life. Only after many level 12 ultimates worked together did they manage to barely drive that strange creature out. This strange creature wasn't a normal life form, possessing only instinct and no consciousness. Life at level 12 from outside couldn't enter the universe. The strange creature had a powerful body that attacks at level 12 could hardly shake. But somehow the myriad transformation queen managed to tear the creature's skin and obtain a drop of blood. That strange creature had a terrifying contamination ability. Its blood is something even we dare not touch. If we can locate an avatar or an incarnation of the Galaxy Master and contaminate it with the strange blood, even if the Galaxy Master does not die, he will be severely injured, which will then affect his potential to break through to level 12. The prison tribe ultimate looked towards the insect queen. The rest of the level 12 ultimates were slightly shaken upon hearing this. They were unaware of this, but since the prison tribe ultimate was so certain, it must be true. Strange blood. The insect queen frowned. I need to speak to the myriad transformation about this. Among the insect race's queens, the myriad transformation queen was the most powerful and ancient, holding the highest status. I hope the myriad transformation understands the bigger picture, the prison tribe ultimate nodded and said. A moment later, the insect queen looked around at the other level 12 ultimates. The myriad transformation is willing to take out that drop of blood. That's very good. The prison tribe ultimate breathed a sigh of relief. When the strange creature fell into the universe, human civilization had not yet been born, so the supreme beings of human civilization did not know about this. The prison tribe ultimate only knew about the actions of the myriad transformation queen because of his abilities and brought it up today. However, that drop of strange blood is the source of endless chaos and contamination. The myriad transformation regards it as a treasure. She is willing to take it out, but it's not without reason. The insect queen suddenly said, "Whatever the myriad transformation's demands are, she can state them." The prison tribe ultimate nodded. "Don't worry, whatever the myriad transformation needs, our clans will surely provide," the other level 12 ultimates assured in succession. A moment later, the conditions were agreed upon by the level 12 ultimates. Next, we just need to lock onto an avatar or incarnation of the Galaxy Master and use all our strength to suppress it, and then apply that drop of strange blood. The insect queen spoke up. Of course, the other level 12 ultimates nodded. Just then, the always silent robber clan ultimate spoke. "My robber clan has no interest in the Galaxy Master of human civilization. We will withdraw from this operation." The robber clan is withdrawing? The many level 12 ultimates were somewhat surprised. If a path-splitting realm ultimate were to emerge within human civilization, the robber clan would surely be affected. Human civilization would not specifically spare the robber clan. After all, a peak of the path-splitting realm meant invincibility within the universe, and other level 12 ultimates could only avoid them. No need for further words. The robber clan ultimate vanished instantly. These two old fellows have the realm of the peak of the path-splitting realm, but such small courage. The prison tribe ultimate frowned deeply. However, to deal with a Galaxy Master, our united forces are enough. The insect queen shook her head and said, "Xianhuang's secret realm." Lin Yuan was observing the 18 dominant bizarre trees, watching how they absorbed chaos qi, how they converted the wild and unstable chaos qi into the energy they needed. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. Brilliant insights surged in Lin Yuan's mind as he comprehended the chaos rule. His understanding of chaos qi was already profound. Now, observing the essence of the 18 bizarre trees, he vaguely grasped the perfect method for absorbing and inhaling chaos qi. The most abundant thing in the chaos void is chaos qi. Mastering the method to directly swallow and absorb chaos qi would greatly reduce reliance on cultivation resources. Even practitioners at the chaos realm cannot directly absorb chaos qi. They need to purify and refine the primitive chaos qi, achieving the level close to that contained within chaos stones, to absorb it smoothly. Those at the mastery realm and even at the path-splitting realm, who wish to perceive chaos qi and thereby understand the chaos rule, can only do so via chaos stones, as the chaos qi within them is stable and the easiest to comprehend. Directly perceiving the chaos rule from primitive chaos qi? The difficulty is too high, and it is filled with disorderly and wild energy. Tia the novel at website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. One of Lin Yuan's avatars, formed from condensed chaos qi, was merely one application of chaos qi. And it is a different concept from directly absorbing primitive chaos qi. The essence of absorbing primitive chaos qi is about transforming the primitive chaos qi into one's own energy, whereas forming an avatar using primitive chaos qi is solely about the avatar. Let's try it on the world tree. Lin Yuan's thoughts stirred slightly, and he looked towards the world tree within his inner world. Having comprehended the chaos rule, Lin Yuan could now channel some chaos qi from beyond the universe to nurture the world tree. But that was merely nurturing. Even the world tree of level 11 perfect grade couldn't absorb chaos qi directly. And to infuse it with chaos stones? Too extravagant, and Lin Yuan was naturally reluctant to do that. If the world tree acquired the capability to directly absorb chaos qi, it would probably be highly beneficial for its transformation into the chaos tree. The Supreme Xia Qin is looking for me? Lin Yuan's expression suddenly shifted, and his Taiyang divine spirit residing outside the Xianhuang secret realm immediately sent out a spiritual will to connect to the virtual world. A virtual world. The Supreme Xia Qin's personal world. I pay my respects to the Supreme Being, Lin Yuan said with a slight bow, showing his respect. Lin Yuan. A smile appeared on the Supreme Xia Qin's face, then his expression became slightly solemn. The fact you are the founder of the martial Tao evolutionary path can no longer be concealed. In fact, Lin Yuan was indeed the founder of the martial Tao evolutionary path. It had been rumored for hundreds of years, but at that time, the rumors were still faint and lacked substantial evidence. However, with the recent emergence of the first-tier chapter of martial Tao, these rumors peaked. I am aware, Lin Yuan nodded. Through the advancement from the 6th layer to the 9th layer, Lin Yuan worried that his identity as the founder of martial Tao would leak, attracting the attention and potential actions of the level 12 ultimate beings from other races. But now, Lin Yuan might not be level 12, yet he closely rivals one, and naturally has no fear of them anymore. Indeed. Supreme Xia Qin smiled and said, with your strength, even if those beings want to curse or influence you, it would be meaningless. After speaking, Supreme Xia Qin pondered for a moment, then continued, but being prepared for the worst is wise. Given the potential of the martial Tao evolutionary path, I can guess without even guessing where those beings are hiding and thinking about how to deal with you. What do you suggest, Supreme Being? Lin Yuan inquired. Why not have your true self come to the central star field? That's the safest place in our human civilization. Even if a dozen or so level 12 beings from other races join hands to attack, we can hold them off, Supreme Xia Qin immediately suggested. Although the 9 supreme beings of human civilization are always attentive to the Milky Way main star, ready to intervene at any sign of trouble. Yet the Milky Way main star is not at the heart of the human civilization's territory. And it is situated at the edge of the domain, something that in Supreme Xia Qin's opinion, still poses some risks. My true self. Lin Yuan pondered for a while. His true self was now in the Xianhuang secret realm, which was definitely safer than the central star field of human civilization. Supreme Being, where do you think my true self currently is? Lin Yuan asked. Your true self. Supreme Xia Qin sensed along the causal connection for a moment. It's not at the Milky Way main star? Only one of my avatars is on the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan stated truthfully. Since Lin Yuan's real body settled in the Xianhuang secret realm, the Taiyang divine spirit and Taiyin primordial spirit had been taking turns to reside on the Milky Way main star. Just an avatar on the Milky Way main star? Supreme Xia Qin's expression shifted slightly. My true self is currently in the Xianhuang secret realm, Lin Yuan said frankly, without any concealment. At this point, there was no need to keep hiding. With his current strength, safeguarding the Xianhuang secret realm was more than easy. Your true self is in the Xianhuang secret realm? The first thought in Supreme Xia Qin's mind was no wonder he hadn't felt it. The Xianhuang secret realm isolates causal spacetime, a fact recognized among the level 12 ultimates. But then it dawned on Supreme Xia Qin, wasn't the Xianhuang secret realm already closed? How did Lin Yuan's true self get in? I have assimilated the core of the secret realm long ago. I am now the master of the Xianhuang secret realm, Lin Yuan revealed. The master of the Xianhuang secret realm? Supreme Xia Qin felt slightly dazed, followed by a surge of excitement. The Xianhuang secret realm, which dozens of level 12 ultimates have sought after within the universe, had actually fallen into Lin Yuan's hands? Many thoughts flooded Supreme Xia Qin's mind, but after examining Lin Yuan again and again, he couldn't help but say, you nearly gave me a scare. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 947 The Goodwill of the Robber Clan. Please subscribe. Scared. Lin Yuan looked at Xiaqin, the peak power, and wasn't surprised. Ever since the discovery of the Shenhuang's secret realm, countless ultimate powers of the 12th rank wanted to refine the secret realm, but none had succeeded to their satisfaction. They couldn't even lock down the exact coordinates of the Shenhuang's secret realm, let alone refine it. Now that he had become the master of the Shenhuang's secret realm, it would indeed shock all the ultimate powers of the 12th rank. When I entered the Shenhuang's secret realm for exploration, I fortuitously reached its deepest part. Lin Yuan casually explained a few sentences. I see. A smile appeared on the face of Xiaqin, the peak power, who didn't care how Lin Yuan had refined the Shenhuang's secret realm. He was only concerned that the realm now belonged to Lin Yuan. Good. Lin Yuan, you probably don't know what the Shenhuang's secret realm actually means for our human civilization. Xiaqin, the peak power, took a deep breath and spoke solemnly. Its meaning to human civilization? Lin Yuan was slightly taken aback. In his view, the ultimate powers of the 12th rank wanted to refine the Shenhuang's secret realm, guessing that there were important inheritances within, which would be crucial for their own evolutionary paths. And this was indeed the case. The 3 Dao-protecting secret skills of profound Shenhuang, let alone for those of the path-splitting realm of the 12th rank, would be of great assistance even to those at the Star Lord realm or in the Chaos realm. But its significance to human civilization? Due to various reasons, such as to prevent the widespread dissemination of the 3 great secret techniques of profound Shenhuang and the enemy finding a way to break them, Shenhuang Majesty had left rules prohibiting their transfer to other powerhouses. Lin Yuan couldn't think of any grand significance the Shenhuang's secret realm could have for human civilization. The Shenhuang beasts within the secret realm? The Shenhuang crystals? Shenhuang crystals indeed hold not insignificant value, but for human civilization as a whole, they are merely some kind of scarce resource, not something of great significance. For human civilization, the most precious thing is the secret realm itself, said Xiaqin, the peak power, looking at Lin Yuan. The realm itself? Lin Yuan pondered thoughtfully. Yes, the realm itself. Xiaqin, the peak power, nodded. The Shenhuang's secret realm can isolate causality and time-space. Even we, the 12th rank, cannot interfere with everything inside the realm through the barriers of the Shenhuang's secret realm. Now, the 12 pinnacle clans of the universe on the surface maintain a certain degree of war intensity, but undercurrents are swirling. Those alien races are constantly watching for any genius evolvers emerging from our human civilization. It's not too bad for those above the 6th rank. Even if they fall, they can be revived through their life imprint. But what about those below the 6th rank? Many evolving talents below the 6th rank, showing just a hint of rising potential, are directly cursed and killed by alien races, unable to be revived. Xiaqin, the peak power, said, Indeed. Lin Yuan nodded in agreement. He had also been targeted by an alien curse killing in the past, but his identity was well concealed, and the alien race could only lock onto him over a wide area. Even so, the alien race still forcefully cursed him, but they chose the Tri-Eye clan genius among those being tested in the 7-star cave at the same time. Lin Yuan was fortunate, and with the Chikuan Star Lord having learned from past experiences, his disciple from 10,000 years ago perished this way at the hands of the alien race. But what about the other human civilizations' evolving talents? Every year, there's no telling how many evolving talents below the 6th rank die under curse killings. In the pinnacle alien races, there are specific powers at the 10th and 11th ranks who specialize in cursing the human civilization's geniuses at the 4th and 5th ranks. To curse kill the 4th and 5th ranks with the life heights of the 10th or 11th rank doesn't cost too much for the former, and any price paid can be recovered. In such a situation, even the most powerful had no solution. After all, there were only 9 supreme powers in human civilization, whose main attentions had to be on the 12th rank of the alien races. It was impossible to pay close attention to each and every evolving talent within the civilization. Moreover, human civilization never stopped attempting to assassinate key talents of other alien races. The meaning of the supreme power is? Sar the novel at website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lin Yuan understood what Xia Qin, the peak power, wanted to say. Exactly, with the Shenhuang's secret realm, we can store a sliver of the soul will of human civilization's key evolving talents below the 6th rank inside. In this way, even if they encounter curse killings, they can still survive. Xia Qin, the peak power, said. The essence of life lies in the soul will. The core of the doppelganger skill is to transfer a part of the soul will into a new body. As long as the soul will remains, the flesh and soul can quickly recover. Although the pillars of our human civilization are 10th rank evolvers, 11th rank evolvers, and us of the 12th rank, all have grown from a weaker state. If the evolving talents below the 6th rank survive, our human civilization has a future, said Xia Qin, the peak power, in an emotional tone. Just like Lin Yuan, who had grown from the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd ranks. Yes. Lin Yuan nodded. For any clan, the foundation is forever the lower layer. Only when there are more at the bottom can a steady stream of middle, high, and peak levels emerge. In the ordinary clans amidst the cosmic starry skies, there are many that gather all of their resources to support a single powerful individual, but such clans lose vitality, and should anything unexpected happen to that individual, they will face disaster. Rest assured, I will set a threshold. To store a sliver of soul will in the Shenhuang's secret realm, a price must be paid. If some evolving talents can't pay it for the time being, then they can owe it, paying later when they can afford it, said Xia Qin, the peak power, with thorough consideration. The Shenhuang's secret realm was Lin Yuan's private property. He certainly couldn't let others freeload. That's a minor issue. Lin Yuan shook his head, not at all concerned. He wasn't opening up the entire Shenhuang's secret realm, just carving out a corner to store some soul wills, which was easy for Lin Yuan. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. It is for this reason. Among the 12 pinnacle powers in the universe, the position of the robber clan is the most transcendent. Interesting. Lin Yuan pondered for a moment. Let him in. So, the figure in the black robe entered the Star-Lord's great hall. Greetings to the Galaxy Master, said the figure in the black robe with great respect, bowing to Lin Yuan. As he spoke, the figure in the black robe carefully stole a glance at Lin Yuan and noticed a young man sitting cross-legged in the distance. At that moment, the young man was holding an ethereal book. The book was hazy, and there seemed to be a force shielding it. Just looking at the book itself made the figure in the black robe tremble within. Is this the Galaxy Master? The figure in the black robe felt nervous. Though an 11th layer entity from the robber clan, facing Lin Yuan, also an 11th layer being, he strangely felt like he was facing the ultimate ancestor of his own clan. What business does the robber clan have sending you sneaking over here? Lin Yuan's ethereal book dissipated, and he glanced at the black robe the figure was wearing. This black robe was a rare piece of space-time treasure capable of insulating any aura, invisible even to ultimate entities of the 12th layer unless they observed very closely. Lin Yuan, with his 7th realm understanding of space-time, saw through the use of the black robe and was curious about the figure's covert arrival. The fact that he came with such caution, he definitely did not want others to know. Probably even the supreme beings of human civilization were unaware that an 11th layer entity from the robber clan had come to the Milky Way main star. To answer the Galaxy Master, the ancestor sent me here to tell you something. The figure in the black robe steadied himself and spoke rapidly. The Tianyu clan, insect race, prison tribe, and other 12th layer entities plan to join forces using that strange blood to act against you, Galaxy Master. Strange blood. A thought crossed Lin Yuan's mind, immediately linking it to the mysterious creature that fell into the cosmos from its inception. This was an incident not involved with the supreme beings of human civilization, as human civilization hadn't been born at that time. They only knew of the dreadfulness of that mysterious creature through some records. The myriad transformation queen of the insect race has obtained a drop of blood from that bizarre creature? Lin Yuan mused thoughtfully. Indeed, the figure in the black robe said, that drop of bizarre blood is the source of chaotic contamination and lethal to any being below the 12th layer. The Galaxy Master must be extremely careful. The figure in the black robe immediately added. He then laid out the entire plan of the 12th layer beings from different races. There might be variations, but the core point, the drop of bizarre blood, remains unchanged, and it is one of the few treasures that can affect the true form of the Galaxy Master. Lin Yuan listened quietly. In fact, he was not worried at all. The beings from the insect race and other races at the 12th layer believed that the drop of bizarre blood could counter Lin Yuan, based on the strength he had shown on the colossal battlefield. But now, after his trip to the immortal realm, Lin Yuan's strength had improved so much that it was no less than a normal ultimate 12th layer being. More precisely, after obtaining the treasure of Song Weiyang, a peak existence in the Dominator realm, Lin Yuan's combat power would likely exceed the ordinary ultimate 12th layer being, approaching the level of the Myriad Transformation Queen and the Xianyuan Supreme. That drop of blood from the bizarre creature was indeed terrifying, but it clearly could not deal with a 12th layer being. Otherwise, the Myriad Transformation Queen would not have kept it and used all these years. The key issue is that to unleash the effect of that drop of bizarre blood, one must completely suppress a certain incarnated division of Lin Yuan, but this is absolutely impossible. With Lin Yuan's current mental will and soul strength, even a Dominator realm powerhouse cannot suppress him so quickly and thoroughly without allowing him any chance to react. Why does your robber clan want to tell me this? Lin Yuan's thoughts spread out, and finally, he glanced at the figure in the black robe. Lin Yuan himself knew his capabilities, but why would the robber clan reveal this secret willingly? Our ancestor did not say. The figure in the black robe spoke softly. He was also puzzled as to why the ancestor asked him to come here, but in the robber clan, the ancestor's word was law. Anything the ancestor said had to be obeyed. Understood, Lin Yuan waved his hand. Search * the novel fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The figure in the black robe immediately retreated. It seems I can no longer stay on the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan thought to himself. Although the scheming of the 12th layer beings from different races posed no threat to Lin Yuan, if a group of ultimate 12th layer beings were really to join forces and attack, the collateral damages from the battle would pose no problem to Lin Yuan himself, but what about the Milky Way main star? And the surrounding life planets? Their fate would surely be dire. The fighting between ultimate 12th layer beings could result in destruction on a galactic scale. Naturally, Lin Yuan had to consider the countless citizens on the Milky Way main star. The beings from different races at the 12th layer will use causality to locate my position, but if my primordial spirit's incarnations are not on the Milky Way main star, they won't target it specifically, Lin Yuan thought to himself. He cares about the countless citizens on the main star, but the beings from the other races at the 12th layer do not. And human civilization has its supreme beings as well. If the beings from different races slaughter a star domain today, tomorrow they may face retaliation tenfold from the supreme beings of human civilization. Next, my two primordial spirits and many incarnations will move mostly within the desolate star domain, Lin Yuan decided in his mind. Of course, during this time, Lin Yuan will use rule perception to conceal the causality of his incarnations. With his current understanding of rules, even ultimate 12th layer beings would have a hard time pinning down his exact location. As for hiding all of his primordial spirit's incarnations in the Shenhuang secret realm, although the Shenhuang secret realm could isolate causality and space-time, one also cannot sense rule fluctuations within it. Lin Yuan is naturally unwilling to contact the other 12th layer beings, but that doesn't mean he's afraid of them. With the speed of transformation of the world within me, I will reach the pinnacle in at most 100 years, and then I can strive for the ultimate, Lin Yuan thought to himself. If, within 100 years, those beings from the other races fortuitously find one of Lin Yuan's incarnations through their causal connection, then Lin Yuan doesn't mind playing along with them. If they fail to lock onto him, after 100 years, Lin Yuan will directly attempt to reach ultimate power and step into the 12th layer. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 949. A Century of Time. Please subscribe. Robber Clan Territory. The figure in the black robe swiftly returned after leaving the Milky Way main star. The black robe he wore, bestowed by the ancestor, could conceal all traces of aura. Unless one was deliberately scrutinizing, even the ultimate beings of the 12th tier might overlook it inadvertently. At the deepest part of the territory, there was a secret realm. The figure in the black robe arrived at this place. How did the matters go? Just then, a voice quietly reached his ears. Ancestor, I have informed the Galaxy Master of everything. The figure in the black robe immediately replied respectfully. That's good, said the ultimate being of Robber Clan. Ancestor, I don't quite understand. The figure in the black robe thought for a moment and couldn't help saying, the 12th tier peak forces of those pinnacle clans are joining hands against the Galaxy Master. Wouldn't it be fine if we just stayed out of it? Why do we need to proactively inform the Galaxy Master? This was the most perplexing part for the figure in the black robe. The potential of the Galaxy Master was unquestionable. In this situation, the Robber Clan not joining the conspiracy against the Galaxy Master could be barely understood as disdain for action. But to directly snitch to the Galaxy Master? What was the reason for that? Knowing that if the Galaxy Master died prematurely, or failed in striving for the ultimate tier, it would benefit the Robber Clan, at least by having one less peak contender in the path-splitting realm in the future. Do you think the Galaxy Master is that easy to deal with? The ultimate being of Robber Clan said casually. Isn't he? The figure in the black robe was a bit confused. More than 10 ultimate 12th tier beings were planning together, even daring to use that bizarre blood. With such a large lineup, even if they couldn't completely kill the Galaxy Master, they would definitely cause significant impact. You don't understand. Don't mention this matter to anyone else. The ultimate being of Robber Clan, too lazy to explain further, ended the conversation with that sentence. Yes. The figure in the black robe immediately bowed his head. The location of mystic unknowability. A plain wooden hut stood there. A figure sat in front of the hut, with a deep gaze, looking through layers upon layers of space-time. Do you think the gaze that spied here not long ago came from that youngling of the Galaxy Master? At that moment, a voice came out from inside the hut. The ultimate being of Robber Clan outside the hut spoke. How is that possible? The comprehension at the 6th realm of spacetime is indeed a domain of the 12th tier path-splitting realm, but Lin Yuan is ultimately not a real 12th tier of path-splitting realm, and the 7th layer of the Black Tower? Only those in the 12th tier path-splitting realm may have a hope of passing. It's a hope, not all 12th tier path-splitting realm beings could pass. Therefore, Lin Yuan eventually stopped at the final section of the Black Tower's 7th layer. Planning to try the 7th layer again? Statue Shinji looked at Lin Yuan with a smile. Yes, Lin Yuan nodded. In fact, what Lin Yuan intended to try was not the 7th layer, but the 8th layer. Space-time 7th realm, coupled with chaos rule, Lin Yuan had no doubt about his ability to pass through the Black Tower's 7th layer. Let's start then. Statue Shinji did not say much. He also wanted to see how Lin Yuan would overcome the 7th layer. To know, the 9-layer Black Tower established by the demonic Jade Tower Master, only some of those in the path-splitting realm could pass the 7th layer. Lin Yuan was now only 11th tier, logically speaking should not even be able to touch the 7th layer, yet he forcefully passed much of the 7th layer. Alright. Lin Yuan directly appeared at the start of the 7th layer of the Black Tower. Too simple. Lin Yuan saw through the entire seventh layer in a glance, the various spatial temporal mazes and barriers. At this moment in the eyes of Lin Yuan, who had already reached the space-time seventh realm, seemed as simple as child's play. Swoosh! Lin Yuan took 9 consecutive steps. Each step spanned a great distance across the 7th floor of the Black Tower, until the 9th step landed him at the end point of the 7th floor. What? Outside the 9-story Black Tower, the statue Xianxia was somewhat stunned. He had planned to watch Lin Yuan navigate through the numerous spatial temporal mazes of the 7th floor, but Lin ended up stopping at the last segment of the path. Sar the Nav Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Did Lin Yuan directly reach the end point? The statue couldn't understand. Unless he confirmed that Lin Yuan had started his challenge, he would suspect that Lin might have used the privileges of a sequence member to directly appear at the 7th floor endpoint. Is it the comprehension of the space-time 7th realm? The statue reviewed repeatedly and finally confirmed it. To pass the 7th floor of the Black Tower, the requirement on the space-time rules is to be at the peak of the 6th realm or close to it. But Lin Yuan reached the endpoint in just a few steps, which only indicates one thing. That is, Lin Yuan's comprehension of space-time far exceeds the peak of the 6th realm. That is to say, he has reached the space-time 7th realm domain. This made the statue Xianxia feel as though he was in a dream. Here, Lin Yuan stopped, observing carefully. If the essence of life were stronger, I should have passed. Lin Yuan slightly shook his head, disappearing on the spot. The 8th floor of the Black Tower had very low requirements for the essence of life. Practically any figure in the dominant realm could meet it. But Lin Yuan was still just 11th tier. Perhaps even the demonic Jade Tower Master himself never thought that one day an 11th tier challenger would arrive at the 8th floor of the 9-layered Black Tower. The 7th floor of the Black Tower. Lin Yuan's figure appeared. Regrettably, I did not make it through, Lin Yuan sighed. The statue Xianxia had a stiff expression. An 11th tier being almost passed through the 8th floor of the Black Tower? And still feeling regret? The statue Xianxia didn't know how to respond to Lin Yuan's words. This is the reward list for passing the 7th floor. The statue Xianxia steadied himself and began to speak. Let me have a look. Lin Yuan's eyes lit up, and he immediately started browsing it. The reward list for the 7th floor of the Black Tower mainly consisted of treasures and secret techniques of the dominant realm. After careful selection, Lin Yuan finally chose a secret technique called Abyssal Eye. This technique was not a physical attack nor a soul attack technique, but a mental will attack technique. With Lin Yuan's current mental strength, activating Abyssal Eye would significantly affect even other 12th tier ultimates. Following this, Lin Yuan's various avatars walked all over different parts of the cosmos as well as the chaos void, comprehending different rule fluctuations. Additionally, Lin Yuan was also pondering how to traverse the 8th floor of the Black Tower. He was only a hair's breadth away from the endpoint and could step over it at any moment. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, 100 years had passed. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 950, Covert Cultivation on the Chaos Continent. Please subscribe. In the emptiness, amidst the chaos, a figure emerged and descended. I've arrived. Lin Yuan carefully observed the vast continent floating in the distance, its size tens of times that of his home universe. An infinite aura radiated from the continent, spreading in all directions into the far reaches of the chaos void. The ancient Ming Chaos Continent? A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. This continent was the chaos continent closest to his home universe. 100 years had passed in the universe, but only 4 months in the chaos void. 3 months ago, as Lin Yuan roamed aimlessly through the chaos void, he inadvertently discovered the aura emanating from the ancient Ming Chaos Continent. After 3 months of travel, Lin Yuan finally arrived. The closer he got to the ancient Ming Chaos Continent, the more frequently Lin Yuan encountered other powerful beings, and through interactions with these beings, he gained intelligence about the continent. Information left by the peak master of the realm, Song Weiyang, also included an introduction to the ancient Ming Chaos continent. Not bad luck. Lin Yuan felt pleased. The ancient Ming Chaos continent was on the edge of the map given by the predecessor, Song Weiyang. A little further, and it would have been beyond the recorded range of the map. The chaos void was boundless. Even the chaos great saints could not reach its edge, let alone those in the master realm. Now, from my home universe, Lin Yuan glanced backwards. With his current understanding of time and space, each breath could take him beyond the range of a home universe. Even so, he had been on the move tirelessly for more than 3 months. One could imagine just how far the ancient Ming Chaos continent was from his home universe. Of course, the word far here is only relative to Lin Yuan. For those in the master realm, it might take just a few hours to cross, and for those in the chaos realm, a mere thought would suffice. The 3 tiers of the 12th order, path splitting, master, and chaos, each tier was like an insurmountable gulf. It is said that surpassing the chaos realm would bring one close to becoming a perfect time being, possessing some of the characteristics of perfect time beings. The connection between my true Buddhist primordial spirit and my avatar is reaching its limit, Lin Yuan thought to himself. In the home universe, the ultimate doors of the 6th realm of time and space insight allow avatars to linger near the universe, but not for long, as they will be eroded and collapse under the influence of chaos chi. Lin Yuan's perception had reached the 7th realm, extending his avatar's connection range far beyond that of the 6th realm, but even so, there was a limit. But Lin Yuan was in luck. Before reaching the limit, he discovered the ancient Ming Chaos continent, or rather, the ancient Ming Chaos continent happened to be within the range where his true Buddhist primordial spirit could maintain contact with the avatar. The ruler of the ancient Ming Chaos continent? Information about the ancient Ming Chaos continent flashed through Lin Yuan's mind. To be eligible to be called a chaos continent, one must certainly be backed by a chaos venerable. And behind the ancient Ming Chaos continent, the chaos venerable was none other than ancient Ming, with the entire continent named after him. The ancient Ming venerable valued fairness greatly. The ancient Ming Chaos continent he founded was bustling with trade, attracting powerful beings from nearby chaos void and even other chaos continents to come and trade. During the lifetime of the predecessor, Song Weiyang, the ancient Ming venerable was already a renowned chaos venerable. Now, several cosmic eras have passed since the predecessor's death, and the ancient Ming venerable is still here. Lin Yuan felt quite emotional. Normally, it is very, very difficult for a chaos venerable to die. The Moyu Tower Master and Xian Huang disappeared mysteriously, and it's not certain whether they are dead. And even if they are dead, it's not necessarily due to being killed. Let's go inside. Lin Yuan continued to approach the vast chaos continent in the distance. The ancient Ming Chaos continent was covered by a grand formation, with 33 entrances and exits around. The entrance that Lin Yuan chose was the nearest one. To enter the ancient Ming Chaos continent, you need to pay 10 chaos stones, a mental fluctuation transmitted to Lin Yuan's ear at the entrance. Understood, Lin Yuan nodded. The ancient Ming Chaos continent prohibited fighting, making it incredibly safe. Search * the Novire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Since it's safe, naturally, there's a fee to pay. Compared to the perilous chaos void, the ancient Ming Chaos continent at least offered order and safety. Rustling. Lin Yuan took out 10 chaos stones. He had obtained quite a few chaos stones from the cave dwelling of the peak master of the realm, Song Weiyang, though most were sent back to his home universe. But the avatar still carried some, precisely for the scene in front of him. With the information left by the predecessor, Song Weiyang, Lin Yuan was very clear about many of the rules in the chaos void. At that moment, Lin Yuan looked up to see several figures descending. These figures, likely from the same tribe, paused at the entrance. Finally, they took out several 12-order weapons to meet the fee for entering the ancient Ming Chaos continent. To enter the ancient Ming Chaos continent, one must pay 10 chaos stones, or equivalent treasures could be used to offset the cost. However, most powerful beings would choose chaos stones. Using other treasures? They would pay a premium, as the ancient Ming Chaos continent would calculate it at the lowest price. Those few powerful beings must be 12th order path-splitting realm beings who have just stepped out of a universe, Lin Yuan speculated internally. The chaos void fostered countless universes, every moment bringing the annihilation of universes and tiding over of 12th order path-splitting realm beings through the cataclysmic tribulation. For the 12th order path-splitting realm beings within the universe, surviving the cataclysmic tribulation meant officially stepping into the chaos void. With good luck, they might find the nearest chaos continent to settle down on. Bad luck? Drifting long in the chaos void might lead to various dangers and death. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Even if those at the second layer have this ability, they will not transfer too many beings from within their universe into their own. Because the more beings from their universe they carry, the more they will attract the attention of the universal consciousness, and the greater and more terrifying pressure they will endure during the cataclysm. Search * the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The Great Catastrophe, 99. 9% of the citizens of my human civilization will die, thought Lin Yuan silently. In reality, 99.9% is already quite a favorable estimate, as the number of beings that can enter the universe inside a second layer ultimate is at most 1 in a million, or at best 1 in 10 million. Moreover, the majority within the second layer ultimate will also fall during the colossal catastrophe of the universe, making the number of survivors even fewer. Forget it, thinking about this now is too far off. Lin Yuan reined in his thoughts. His home universe was still very young, and if nothing went wrong, it was an extraordinarily long distance away from the great catastrophe of the universe. Before long, Lin Yuan entered the ancient Ming Chaos continent. The ancient Ming Chaos continent has 9 cities, which are the convergence point for all foreign life forms. As for outside the cities, it's also covered with many formations which are the cultivation grounds of the ancient Ming Venerable, forbidden for any external powerful beings to enter without permission. That is, Lin Yuan gazed towards the center of the continent. There stood a black peak exuding terrifying aura in all directions. This black peak was filled with dark chaos energy, enough to make ordinary sovereign realm powerhouses tremble in fear. That is one of the horns of the Chaos Dragon Beast subdued by the ancient Ming Venerable, Lin Yuan thought to himself. As a Chaos Venerable, the ancient Ming Venerable traveled through the Chaos Void in his early years and subdued a Chaos Dragon Beast, which possesses almost the strength of the Chaos Realm. The peak that stands at the center of the Chaos Continent now is just one stray horn of the Chaos Dragon Beast, while the true body of the Chaos Dragon Beast lies in a deep slumber within the depths of the chaotic continent. A Chaos Dragon Beast with combat prowess comparable to the Chaos Realm. Lin Yuan withdrew his gaze. The trade prosperity of the ancient Ming Chaos continent is not unrelated to this Chaos Dragon Beast. No matter who it is, even peak sovereign realm powerhouses, upon seeing that daunting horn piercing the sky, would feel their scalps tingle and dare not cause trouble on the Chaos Continent. Whether a Chaos Continent prospers is not strongly related to the strength of its Chaos Venerables. No matter how strong you are, if the order on your Chaos Continent is in disarray, other mighty beings will be reluctant to trade there. If they can't afford to provoke you, can't they still avoid you? Ancient Ming Venerable believes in fairness, and since the dawn of the cosmic era, no ill fame has spread, attracting many beings from the path-splitting realm and dominator realm who enjoy trading and cultivating in seclusion on the ancient Ming Chaos continent. Lin Yuan entered Mingchuan City, one of the 9 main cities on the ancient Ming Chaos continent. The city is vast, divided into many areas, such as the trading sector, residential sector, and so on. Many shops in the trading area are backed by Dominator realm beings, whose influence is limited to the ancient Ming Chaos continent or, more likely, just Mingchuan City. Lin Yuan glanced around and then looked deeper into the city. There sat majestic buildings, each backed by various forces originating from other Chaos continents, supported by beings from the Chaos realm. Compared to the many private shops of Dominator realm beings, these large stores have a better reputation, and of course, their prices are also higher. 10,000 Paths Pavilion? Lin Yuan looked towards the deepest building, one of the pavilions, shrouded in mist, unfathomable. The 10,000 Paths Pavilion does not trade in treasures and materials, but in evolutionary pathways. To ascend to the 12th layer, one must reach the end of an evolutionary path, and this path must not have an existence in the 12th layer already. The Chaos Void is vast and boundless. To perfect a completely new evolutionary path on one's own strength, from nothing to something, and ultimately step into the 12th layer of life, is extremely rare. The vast majority of beings of the 12th layer have tread paths that already existed. An evolutionary path leading to the 12th layer requires immense determination and opportunities to create for beings below the 12th layer. But for the many Chaos Realm beings, perhaps just one session of secluded cultivation and exploration of hundreds or thousands of paths could reveal hundreds or thousands of 12th layer evolutionary paths. The Tao is endless. Any evolutionary path has the potential to advance to the 12th layer. It's just a matter of likelihood, but as Chaos Realm beings meditate in seclusion, observing the essence of the Tao, many evolutionary paths will emerge, and some Chaos Realm beings will record these paths and eventually refine them. There are levels to evolutionary paths as well. Some have the potential to step into the Dominator or even the Chaos. Lin Yuan thought silently. He wasn't particularly interested in the evolutionary paths sold by the 10,000 Paths Pavilion. Any path must be suitable for oneself and, naturally, as his own creation, the martial Tao evolutionary path was a perfect fit for him. Since the 10,000 Paths Pavilion dares to trade evolutionary paths, the being behind it must be unimaginable. According to much intelligence left by the peak Dominator realm being, Song Weiyang, the 10,000 Paths Pavilion is definitely an entity not to be provoked. Even in the era of Xian Huang and the Moyu Tower Master, these two Chaos Great Saints were extremely wary of the 10,000 Paths Pavilion. 10,000 Paths Pavilion, could it be the layout of a being close to a perfect time being? Lin Yuan recalled Zhuo Wang's description of the 10,000 Paths Pavilion, one of the rare instances when his tone was serious. Lin Yuan has no intention of dealing with the 10,000 Paths Pavilion for now. After entering Mingchuan City, his goal is to settle down here. The Chaos Void is too dangerous. Over the past 4 months, Lin Yuan has nearly experienced a life-threatening danger, and if not for his insight into the 7th realm of space-time, he probably would have ended his journey in the Chaos Void by now. Regular residence in Mingchuan City has many benefits. First and foremost is safety, and secondly, the trading here is extremely prosperous, so Lin Yuan can trade for the treasures and materials he desires. Explore the Chaos Void? Acquire treasures and adventures? For Lin Yuan, who is still a life at the 11th layer, that is still too much of a stretch. Previously, he got the abode of the peak Dominator realm being, Song Weiyang, purely out of good luck. But luck cannot continue indefinitely. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 952, Striking the Ultimate? Please subscribe. The incarnation has finally settled down. In his homeland universe, within the Xianhuang's secret realm, Lin Yuan opened his eyes, a smile appearing on his face. The stronghold of the peak master of the ruling realm, Song Weiyang, brought substantial gains to Lin Yuan, thus he urgently needed a place to digest these gains, and the ancient Ming Chaos continent seemed just right. First, let the incarnation familiarize itself there, and when it steps into the 12th level, It'll bring all the unnecessary resources and treasures for trade, Lin Yuan thought to himself. Without reaching the 12th level, Lin Yuan dares not let his incarnation carry two valuable treasures out of the universe. And trading, compared to killing for treasure, Lin Yuan preferred fair trade, as it was safest. Lin Yuan is not one of those at the 12th level of the path-splitting realm with an uncertain future. With his against heaven's understanding, what he lacks the most is a safe environment for growth. The world within me now. Lin Yuan sent a sliver of consciousness into his inner world. Compared to 100 years ago, his internal world has now expanded several times, reaching an astonishing 11 light-years in range. 11 light-years in range, compared to the ordinary level 11 perfect lives, tens of millions to hundreds of millions of light-years, Lin Yuan's internal world is billions of times theirs. My current internal world, physical body, soul, etc., have all reached their limits. I've nearly absorbed all the transformations brought by the Chaos Rule, Lin Yuan thought. Despite having deduced the Chaos Rule, it's ultimately incomparable to the essential leap of life, the absorption and immersion of the Chaos Void origin energy in his internal world is ultimately limited. Even in the boundless Chaos Void, I must be among the strongest of the 11th level, right? Lin Yuan felt the vast and immeasurable energy within him and thought. Lin Yuan was unclear about the era the Chaos Void was currently in, but in the era of Xianhuang and the Moyu Tower Master, he had never heard of anyone at the 11th level stronger than himself. Indeed, the Chaos Void has countless opportunities. Instances have occurred where 11-level lives challenged those at the 12th level. These were always through the aid of various external forces and factors. Compared to them, Lin Yuan, who solely relied on himself to reach a level comparable or even superior to the usual path-splitting realm, it's not an exaggeration to consider him unique in the Chaos Void. In these 100 years, the pathway of the 12th level of the martial Tao has been almost perfected. Lin Yuan's thoughts fluctuated. Congratulations, you are the 142nd member of my Demon Jade Tower to pass the 8th floor. The statue Shinji appeared and spoke. The 142nd? Lin Yuan was slightly stunned. Only 142? It's quite a lot already, the statue Shinji sighed. Those who can pass the 8th floor of the Black Tower are generally at the peak of the ruling realm. In its heyday, the Demon Jade Tower had 141 peak ruling realm masters, along with several Chaos Realm beings, and seated with the Chaos Great Saint as the Moyu Tower Master, it was considered extremely strong. In reality, by the Chaos Realm, very few would submit to any Chaos Great Saint. Chaos Venerables could completely establish a Chaos continent of their own, roaming freely. Why follow a Chaos Great Saint? Protection? With the strength of a Chaos Venerable, it's hard to die as long as one doesn't court death. Even a Chaos Great Saint would find it very difficult to completely kill a Chaos Venerable. The numerous life-saving methods of a Chaos Venerable should not be underestimated. Guidance? From a Chaos Venerable to a Chaos Great Saint, one can only rely on oneself. Seeking refuge with a Chaos Great Saint hardly aids one's own breakthrough into the Great Saint's domain. The Chaos Dragon Beast subdued by Ancient Ming Venerable in the Chaos Continent of Ancient Ming only compares closely to a Chaos Venerable, not equivalent to one. That's quite a lot. Lin Yuan thought for a moment and still felt he had underestimated himself. Now, setting other aspects aside, he is already above the vast majority of the pinnacle masters in the domain of rules. Even during the peak period of the Magic Jade Tower, he could be ranked within the top 200. This is the reward list for passing the 8th level. Statue Shinji waved his hand, and a light screen appeared in front of Lin Yuan. The list enumerated treasures from the Chaos Realm of the highest order. Normally, the rewards for passing the 8th level of the Black Tower are supreme treasures of the Master Realm, with occasionally 1 or 2 Chaos Realm treasures. But Lin Yuan passed as a level 11. And now the treasures listed by the statue Shinji are the most precious batch in the entire 9-story Black Tower. Normal members of the Magic Jade Tower, even if they surpass the 9th level, won't get to choose these treasures. Only those Chaos Venerables who pass the 9th level with a particularly against heaven's demeanor and have hopes of becoming Chaos Great Saints get the treatment that Lin Yuan has now merely by passing the 8th level. So many treasures. Lin Yuan was inwardly shocked. The Chaos Realm's secret treasure left by the Peak Master, Song Weiyong, didn't even qualify to be at the bottom of this reward list. For Chaos Venerables, Chaos Realm's secret treasures are not considered precious. Many of them are simply crafted by Chaos Venerables casually.